Live from Nashville, it's Keep Pound Den.
What up, what up, what up? NFL Draft here in Nashville, here with Tripp Morgan on the Riot Network, broadcasting live from the Tin Roof.
Yeah,
Thanks
buddy.
for tuning into us. You can check us out on many feeds today, the Riot Report, YouTube, Facebook, my Twitter. We're over at your Facebook as well, Tripp, at Panthers Source. Again, part of the Riot Network here, powered by Ortho Carolina. You can find me at Keep PounDEN. Tripp's over at, don't want to mute ourselves there, at Panthers Source. And welcome here to the Tin Roof to day one of the draft, man. We're
Finally.
it feels like it was so far away. And now it's here. Nashville is hopping, even though the weather's not really.
It's not as bad as I thought it was
bad
going
out
to be.
there. Yeah,
It's not as bad.
But thanks for hopping on with us here. You see how we have about 7 hours to the draft. Night one. A lot to talk about tonight, Tripp. A lot of things already moving around.
Drama's starting,
Nick
man.
Bosa drama's out there. You got the Redskins talking about moving up. The Falcons talking about moving up.
What's up with that? Falcons. What are you trying to do?
Well, one of my fears is, the Falcons getting a guy the Panthers might want after losing that game.
Man, can you
in New
imagine if they
Orleans.
got Brian Burns and that would just see, we've been talking about it for so long, and I've seen so many mocks with them grabbing him lately. Like, what in the world?
For those of you Panthers fans in Nashville, come check out the home of the Riot here. We're here at the Tin Roof on Demembrian. It's not Demon Brewing.
Okay.
Demembrian. And we are up here right next to the Doghouse Saloon, CBS over there. Got a bunch of people. STK's got the Draft Network.
Yep.
Come in this area of Nashville. You don't have to go really down by the craziness just yet. Come have a drink. They got a, what did they say?
A crawfish boil.
Crawfish boil outside. They're going to have a big draft party here at the Tin Roof as well. And we get a lot of guests stopping by today. We got Sheena Quick's here in the house. She's going to be joining us in a moment.
Stoked.
Harrison's here from the Music City Riot. We're going to be talking to go across the pond, if you will, to our friends over at the Royal Riot as well.
Checking on their time zone.
Yeah, and we're just going to have a fun time here. We're here 12 to 3 today. Come hang out with us. Come say hi. Obviously talking Panthers. Obviously talking NFL Draft. But let's just talk about that first pick real quick. I mean, even for the Panthers, a pretty unknown pick right here. Is it going to be Burns? Is it going to be Dillard? My mock draft had Andre Dillard.
I like your mock draft at all of this. Actually, the one Josh posted on his Twitter, with getting DK Metcalf in the third round and stuff, that was a really good mock, too. I think that was a fair.
Yeah,
that's a realistic mock, right?
Connor Orr would like the DK Metcalf. To me, though, the last thing the Panthers need to do is go out and get a receiver in the first round.
I mean,
I hate to compare him to Kelvin Benjamin. DK Metcalf should have a better career, I think. I don't know. Right now, he doesn't have much to live up to be better than Kelvin Benjamin.
Too many holes for us, though, elsewhere.
But DK is being mocked to in a lot of Panthers drafts. Why?
Yeah, this is something, you brought it up with Connor Orr on your show. I don't understand it at all. I guess maybe they're still trying, we lose Devin Funchess. I think a lot of people are looking at it as, you got Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore, dynamic duo, but is DJ really going to be the big threat that we've had with Cam the last several years? But I think all that left the building when Dave Gettleman left the building. And I don't think, since Marty Herney's came in, he's always been about athletic and speed and separation. He said it in his pre-draft presser with Ron Rivera. Separation is the biggest key. Not that DK Metcalf can't do that, but with defensive end, offensive line, safety, and really even linebacker. We talked about it on your podcast. There's so many other holes that need to be hit first. Taking somebody like that in the first round it would make my jaw hit the floor, honestly. I'm not even going to lie.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, linebacker is a big piece that a lot of people aren't talking about.
Yep.
Jermaine Carter Jr. is the starting linebacker on the outside there. Again, not to short sell him. I hope he's good. I think he could be good. He seems ready to take that step into Thomas Davis's role. But what if he doesn't?
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of depth there on the outside. Does that change with the Panthers' 3-4 defense? I don't really know.
Because you got to have those athletic guys with that 3-4 scheme, and that's a big thing. And when they drafted these guys last year, were they thinking of going to more 3-4? We didn't hear anything about it until later in the last season. So
Shaq Thompson has a lot. People put a lot of eggs into that Shaq Thompson basket. Again, not a guaranteed long-term deal here in Carolina either.
But he's getting paid this year.
Yeah, for something to deal with here. So that's why I threw out Jamie Collins. Was like, I get it. Jamie Collins might be an overrated player, might be an overpaid player, but to me, it might be an expensive safety net, but it is a safety net.
Yeah.
I think that Jamie Collins still brings a lot more to the table if Jermaine Carter Jr. can't be that guy than anyone else could. And that's why I threw that out there. But
and he's still hanging around. He's not going to be – he shouldn't be so expensive like you would have thought, before, I guess. But
yeah, but do you target that in the draft? I don't know.
I know that's one thing. They were talking about the drama we were talking about earlier with the Falcons trading up. They're looking at getting, potentially a top linebacker there. So, NFC South news there. But like you said, the 3-4. I don't think when they drafted these guys last year in the draft, I don't think that's what they were looking at when they drafted them necessarily. Maybe they were, but they just didn't talk about it. The 3-4 stuff has really just come up recently, towards the end of last season. So plugging that hole is going to be, hitting something there is going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds there. But defensive line, I think, defensive end is going to be your biggest tell. Alan Bailey still might be coming back from the Chiefs. I would love to have him.
When they freed up that money with Luke, that's immediately what Panthers fans thought of is – where's that money going? Or maybe it's just a safety net.
And he's still interior.
You do have to go into the season with the what ifs.
Right.
What if X player goes down? Knock on wood, right? But you do need that. You can't go in there with no money.
Yep.
Is that with the Luke money freed up, or is it for someone like Alan Bailey? Is it for someone like Trey Boston?
Yep.
Who knows? And I think the next few days will really determine where that money goes. So.
It's going to be fun to
We'll
watch,
see.
man. I love it. I love the NFL draft. It gets bigger every year. The drama, the suspense is so much fun.
We're down here at the Tin Roof on the Riot Network here at Keep PounDEN. Tripp Morgan here joining me live. We have a few guests to bring up in just a few, but crazy time down here. I mean, the schedule is nuts. We get Tim McGraw playing tomorrow.
I didn't even know about this, and I was so focused on like the NFL part. I never even thought like Nashville's going to be fun for the draft. I never even thought like, oh, this could be a concert mecca for the draft,
Dude,
right?
Yeah, I mean, they do this for the 4th and all that.
Yeah.
I've seen they call it Prime Weekend, where basically the whole strip is shut down. You get floods of people on both sides of the road.
It's a fun
now
city.
you have that, and you have the NFL draft. Dirks Bentley playing tomorrow. All these guys own bars around here too.
Yep. Every top country band has a bar downtown Nashville.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and shout out to the Tin Roof here, home of the Music City Riot, for having us in today. We'll also be here tomorrow. Get some good guests coming on again. From either Panther networks or even outside. We get some people coming by. We won't reveal them to you just yet. But finally, we're going to get to Harrison here in a minute. But just the other day, Jonathan Stewart over at Bank of America Stadium, obviously, of course, one upped by D'Angelo Williams. I don't know what his deal is.
Oh my goodness!
But regardless, what'd you think of the Stew ceremony?
Dude, that was high flying emotions, dude.
Are you
I was just watching the clips, and while I was running around at work trying to get stuff set up before we came here, and I was just watching it, and I was getting tearful. I know Zach said something about it, and hearing what he had to say about Ron Rivera as a coach, like helping him through stuff. There's so many things that go on behind the scenes that we as fans and even media don't ever get to see between player-coach relationships. And I think you get to see a lot of that in these. And he also had a little precursor to some things, but big day for Stu.
He
big
did.
day for Stu. I was pumped
Touching
for him.
upon some Steve Smith stuff there. So we'll see if they have actually repaired that relationship with Smitty. But did you think Stu was going to retire this year? Because I honestly didn't.
No,
I didn't think it was far away.
Right.
But I was a little, and maybe that's just because if you're on the Giants, you're not going to be touching the field.
Saquon.
They have a decent running back over there.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
were you a little surprised that it was this year?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I definitely saw it coming. I figured he was going to stay at least one more in New York, or maybe potentially try it somewhere else for the team that needed it. Buffalo's been hiring running backs left and right here, and they seem to be Panthers North, so that could have been a potential option.
There you go.
Yeah, I definitely thought he would have been, maybe another year. But when the video came out and then TD was sharing it, I was sitting here thinking, and it showed the Roman numeral 28. I was like, what is going on? Is he coming back here?
Tweets. Yeah.
But I'm stoked for him, dude. A great Panther, great in the community, and the best part about it is that's where he looks to focus his future in retirement. So.
Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to get Harrison up here from the Music City Riot. He's going to tell us about what goes on here in Nashville on Sundays, what's going on this weekend. We get a ton of Roaring Riot swag. Come by Tin Roof on Demembrian. There are 2 Tin Roofs, by the way. Not the one down on Broadway. You'll figure that out right away when you
can't get in the door.
and when you see their set.
Yeah.
But, we are just up the street. And, come hang out with us. We're going to be here till 3 p.m. today with a lot of guests coming on. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Riot Network.
See y'all.
Nashville, it's Keep PounDEN.
What up, what up, what up? Back here at the Tin Roof. And happy to be joined here by our pal Harrison Hyman here. That's how to pronounce your last name, right?
That is it. That's correct.
I should probably turn your mic on, huh?
Yeah, that would be
There
good.
you go, yeah. Harrison here, you run the Music City Riot
I do.
down here
Yep.
in Nashville. Dude, tell us what Sundays are like here, man. Because I can only imagine watching football in Nashville.
Well, when the Panthers are winning, dude, we are rocking. So, as you can see, Tin Roof is actually a pretty cool place. We've got a really big screen that comes down, and we actually take the whole side of the bar on a good Sunday, right?
Nice.
So we average, I don't know, something around 30 to 50 on strong Sundays, and then, if we're kind of on a losing streak, which kind of happened towards the end there, we probably get about 20 or so.
Yeah, I'm sure that you see the attendance. That just happens. Even on the Riot trips, you see that. But
Yeah.
obviously, even as the Panthers lose, I'm sure you still get a bunch of people here and
Oh, absolutely.
good times, dude. Like I said, I can only imagine watching football in Nashville, and it's an hour early.
Yeah,
that's fun.
so
Oh,
you're
then
done
we
at
get it, yeah.
you're done at 3. It's not too bad. The biggest thing is we're in a tourist town, so not only are we getting locals coming in here and enjoying every Sunday, but you're getting a lot of guests that are coming from out of town, and it's actually really cool. And that's great about the Riot, right? They can literally go online and see, okay, I'm going to Nashville. Buddy's bachelor party, we're the capital of the world for bachelor and bachelorette parties.
Especially
and,
for events like this, too.
Yeah,
I mean, you're going to
exactly.
get a lot of people in here that might be in town for a game one day, and you're like, oh, now we know where to go.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
And it's super cool. And, usually whenever we get a guest in, I ask, hey, where'd you hear? How'd you hear about us? And it's usually always, I went to the Roaring Riot's website and found you guys right from there. So
Awesome, dude.
It's fun, man.
yeah.
Good stuff. And, I got to say, so I'm a musician. I've come to Nashville. Maybe this is my 9th or 10th time.
Okay.
And the funny thing is stayed over there, and I think it's the Best Western.
Right across the street.
Met a
yeah,
guy
yep.
here in this building called Rhythm, I believe, is
Okay.
right here.
Yep.
And the first bar I ever came in was this very bar, and sat right up there at the bar.
Comes full circle.
Honestly, it didn't. No Panther reason, just honestly here for music. And now years later, it's the Panther bar. We're here broadcasting on stage. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool little moment for me here, but.
Oh, yeah. And the Tin Roof's has been great. I mean, I know that we have a few Riot clubs scattered around the country that host their bars or their watch parties at Tin Roof. But they've been awesome. This is the original Tin Roof location, and it's just been a super awesome. We're in a great location. Bars lined up.
Yeah.
You're
You're in a very sweet location for Nashville.
And it's interesting too because you have Doghouse next door, which is a Browns bar, and then you have
nice.
Makes sense.
and then you
That's
have
perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
sense.
Oh, it's perfect. And then you have
Was that always a Browns bar, or was that like you have to be the Browns bar?
I am not sure.
You don't have a choice.
I am not sure, but I can tell you when they're losing, there's still like 100 people there showing
The
up.
Browns
I mean,
have some of the most dedicated
yeah.
fans.
They really do.
dude.
They really
Like,
do.
It's ridiculous.
It's awesome to see, and then we have a Patriots bar down the road too. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the Frisky Frogs.
That's
on the
where you
road,
find
yeah.
Den every now
I
and then.
came here to
Yeah.
get away from that stuff. So I'm from
yeah,
Boston.
I
don't even
know.
know if you know that.
Yeah.
but yeah. So there's enough Patriots bars in Boston. So
In the world.
I'll stay away from that one.
Yeah.
But so you were awesome enough to get us this wonderful stage.
Yes.
yeah, they
Are
worked
there
out great, right?
Are there bands up here when you guys?
That's what I was getting ready to ask.
No, so Sundays they actually don't do
Okay.
actually don't do any live performances on Sundays. So it's usually Saturday nights and Friday nights, and I think sometimes Thursday nights.
Cool.
That's where it kind of gets a little tricky. Obviously, Thursday nights when we have a game, we usually go on their other side, their
Okay.
green room side.
Oh,
so,
nice. Yeah, that's just through right here, isn't it?
Yeah. It's just, I mean, it's the same bar. It's just all connected, but
Right.
we're on that
There's
side.
another side of this building.
Yes, there is. Yeah, it's crazy.
I
during
didn't
Sundays,
do the full tour, I guess.
yeah, during Sundays
I
they
wanted
have
it
like
back.
they have Sunday Fun Day here where they do like beer pong tournaments on the other side and all that stuff, and they have a live DJ and all that. So basically you have fun here. You get
Yeah.
you root on the Panthers, and then you flow over next door, and then you
For the
go
after
party
party.
over
Play a
there
little
for the
beer.
after
Little
party.
post-game
So,
win
yeah, it's a lot of
celebration.
fun. Yep, that's right.
I love how you guys wearing these wonderful shirts, by the way. This
Yep,
is the
that's
first
right.
time
That's-
I've seen these Do You Riot
Oh,
shirts.
it is great.
Shout
It is
out
perfect.
to Jamie. They look
Yes,
great in
they look
person.
amazing.
Yep.
Everyone will
Yep.
be receiving theirs pretty shortly, I
That's
believe.
right.
But you're talking about parties. What's going on out here today?
So so the Tin Roof, they've decided they were going to do a crawfish boil here. A huge party. They're bringing in a huge screen outside. It's going to be open. It's not a Panthers exclusive event. They're going to bring all fans of all teams. It was kind of tricky this year to try to do an actual draft party for the Panthers because it's all downtown. You know,
Right.
like
Yeah.
I mean, you can actually physically go to the draft
Yeah,
downtown,
yeah.
and so you know, pulling it around. You know, everybody's like, you know what? I'd rather go watch it live. So I was like, great. You know, I talked
I
to
mean, you can almost hear it.
Yeah,
from up
exactly.
here. You know, it's.
Place is like a whole nother
And,
building.
and I think
Yeah.
that, you know, we were talking on our Uber over here to the Uber driver
Mm-hmm.
about just the draft in general and how it keeps moving around. And I got to say, I think the NFL learned their lesson last year with Dallas. Not that Dallas isn't cool. That stadium is incredible to see, but it was nothing like this. You had to actually have
No.
a ticket to get inside.
Yep.
The stadium isn't near downtown Dallas, so
No.
actually, we actually interviewed Jason Baker,
Yep.
a former punter,
Yep.
and we had to drive like a half an hour to get to his hotel.
Jesus.
And then, you know, and it was just very the logistics were awful. There were shuttles. You could only go outside the stadium, and there was like 10 things, and then everyone kind of had to go home. And the year before that was Philly, which was like this.
Yeah.
And I think this is becoming what the NFL wants. What cities want. I think this is incredible for
Yeah.
Nashville.
And this is the first time it's completely open to the public. Like
Yeah.
before, it hasn't been like completely open.
well,
And they were talking,
Philly was open.
was completely
Yep.
open. Okay.
Yep.
I thought I read that somewhere, but yeah, I mean that's
I-
huge. This is a perfect for like the NFL experience, NFL draft experience. This is exactly what you would want. This is my first time coming to one. That one sounds a little bit like a headache, like you were mentioning, Den. But I mean, I'm loving this setup already. It's like Den said, you got all these other events going on around you. You can walk right down there. If you wanted to take an Uber, I imagine traffic might pick up later in the day, which we were
Traffic
actually
hasn't
impressed
been
with that
that
today.
bad at all.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I guess maybe we'll find out when it comes more towards draft time. But
It's. I'll tell you what. Just being around here, I mean, they started closing streets about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
So
I looked
people
up on
kinda-
Google Maps and it was like X, X, X,
yeah,
X.
Yeah.
the big red line. Yeah,
Yeah.
that don't Uber down here. But
Right.
Exactly.
yeah. Anyway, for those of you Panthers fans in Nashville, again, we're at the Tin Roof on Demembrian. Am I saying that right?
Demombrian.
Demembrian. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's like a long O.
Yeah,
Okay,
Demombrian. Yeah, that's right.
Maybe
yeah.
that's just my Boston
That's his
accent.
Boston.
Yeah, I'll start getting rid of ours completely in like 10 minutes.
Exactly.
But yeah, we're here. By the way, come down, hang down with us. We're gonna be here until 3 p.m. Also here tomorrow. You got some Riot swag. What
Yeah,
do we got over here?
so we got
do we
some-
want to tell people, or do we want to?
Yeah, come
make
on
them
out. I
come
mean,
here
we've
and find
got
out?
we've got some koozies and some patches that we'll be able to give away for anybody who comes on out here.
Sweet.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a cool bar. You know, it's cheap beer, so definitely come start your draft parties early and
I
come
like
out
it.
here and drink some beer. And like I said, if you guys don't want to, if anybody comes out here that they don't want to go to the draft itself, and maybe because it's going to rain or it's going to be too busy. You know the Tin Roof's having a really, really awesome draft party here with a crawfish boil
Yeah, I
and
can
a
see
big
that
screen.
There's
and
some craft vodka trucks just
Yeah,
pulled up.
Tito's.
exactly.
If you're-
Yeah.
Oh, that's Tito's.
Yes, Tito's.
If you're into Tito's, people are actually starting to file in here. I think they made sure they got their rest, and people are actually heading in here now at the Tin Roof. All different jerseys, Vikings jerseys. I see
Yep.
a Brady jersey. Not really happy about that one.
Yeah, no.
But some good stuff. We'll hopefully see some Panthers jerseys pretty soon.
Yeah.
I think I see
think-
my
I think-
wife run into that vodka truck.
Yeah, but and the biggest thing I want to make a shout out to is the fact that this is actually a covered event outside. So if
There you
anybody
go.
comes out here for the draft event, you know they do have a covered tent. So it's supposed to rain a little tonight. That kind of sucks, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I think everyone knows that by now. 2019.
It was originally supposed to rain like all day, though.
We have our
so
Weather Channel apps.
I'm
you know.
excited.
yeah, it's kind of holding out a
Yeah.
little bit.
It is.
Little cloudy, it's
Yeah.
not too hot.
Yeah, I was told by our Uber driver that it probably won't rain, so I'm gonna go by that.
Trust the
won't
local,
rain.
'cause he knew his way around these streets, let me tell you.
Yep,
Our Uber
exactly.
driver on the way there.
Anyway, Harrison, thanks for hopping on with us.
Yeah,
So
thank
Maybe
you.
we'll have you hop on, a few times here for today and tomorrow,
yeah,
and
hopefully, yeah.
we'll get some swag given out. Come grab some. We get some koozies over here.
Yeah, got
Roaring
some
Riot flags, and yeah, it'll be a good time. And if you're in Nashville, stop by here every Sunday, right?
Exactly.
Every Monday, whatever, Sunday, Thursday,
Even if
whatever
it's
you
not
want to do.
football season, come through.
Every game day, I will say, except for the London game because that's going to be it's an 8:30 start. It will be 8:30
Oh,
here.
8:30 here.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
so-
Yeah, so the
So-
time zone, because we have some folks joining us from London in just a little bit, and I'm like, on the East Coast, like, okay, so it's 8 your time, now I have to do this, and then minus an hour. So hopefully I did all that math right. And
Yeah, yeah.
that they'll be calling you at the right time. But
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, Harrison, thanks for hopping on with
Yep.
us. This was awesome, and thanks for setting us up here
Yes,
again
this
at the
is
Tin
perfect.
Roof on Demombrian.
Demondrian, yeah, Matt.
I'm
And
going to have
thank
to
you,
remember that myself.
and
Come on
thank
up
you
here.
for having me.
You're
So-
absolutely
Absolutely,
fan.
man.
All right,
Absolutely.
we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Tripp and Den here on the Riot Network.
Live from Nashville, it's Keep Pound Den.
Back here at the Tin Roof. That was fun, Tripp. Harrison from the Music City
Yes.
Riot
Always
joining us
good.
over here. And again, our crowd's filling in here. Thanks for hopping on with us online, whether you're on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Tripp's Facebook as well, at Panthers Source. Again, I'm Den. This is Tripp at Keep Pound Den at Panthers Source. 6.5 hours to go until the draft, Tripp.
Your song just always gets me
You like that?
hyped up.
Yeah,
dude. I love it.
I started
Love it.
playing it in soundcheck.
You wrote that, didn't you?
Yeah, totally. I started playing it in soundcheck with the band,
Uh-huh.
and no one knows. But it makes me happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're Patriot
So,
fans.
yeah, whatever. But anyway, we are again here at the Tin Roof. Going to be joined by a bunch of special guests today. Every 15 minutes or so, we're going to be talking to Sheena Quick in just a minute. She's over there. I don't know what she's doing. She's
Hitting her
FaceTiming or
sources for us.
something. Yeah. But we're going to talk to her about a few things. We're actually going to play a game with Sheena. That's going to be fun. And hopefully I don't mess it up on the screen.
I like games.
Yeah,
I really
so,
like Madden.
Tune in just 15 minutes or so. We'll be talking to Sheena Quick. But, you just brought up Madden, right? Is that what you said?
Yes, it
that
is. I love Madden.
Because I was just thinking, this Madden curse thing,
Seems legit, man.
it's pretty real, man. I mean, look at it.
And you're
I
a
don't-
superstitious guy.
I am. I'm a very superstitious guy. The reason the Panthers started losing is because I stopped wearing my black undershirt. I'm really sorry about that.
Should I kick him off now or?
But you could argue that Antonio Brown had a tough year.
Yeah.
I mean, not tough
Not
year.
statistically.
Not,
but
not tough year, but as far as I guess controversy, whatever, the Steelers didn't make the playoffs. Madden cover, right?
Right.
Gronkowski, they lost the Super Bowl that year, right? That he was on, yeah, to Philly.
Yes. Yep.
So
yep, sure did.
Madden curse is real, Tripp. Who's on the Madden cover this year?
Not a Panther. I don't know.
I'm
Is it Brady again? Can Brady get another cover? Do
No,
they
I
do
th-
like dual covers?
no,
like that?
I don't think you should. No.
No, I don't think he should.
No,
I mean, he's
not-
on the
Oh no, Brady was on it. I'm sorry. Brady was on the one that they lost, the Super Bowl. Not Gronk.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I said Gronk. So who's on this year's? Who's? I think if you had to take a poll, Drew Brees, Mahomes.
Oh, Mahomes. Oh, Mahomes is a good choice.
My thing is how many years do you?
MVP.
How many years do you have to? How many good years in a row do you need to have to be on the cover of Madden? Like you can't just throw Saquon Barkley up there.
Or
Right.
can you?
I'm just saying, after, is
Well,
there a
yeah.
rule that you have to put together 2 or 3 good years, maybe
Yeah, because I mean, when you think about it, all these guys that have really made it have had, they're top guys in the league consistently. You talk about Gronkowski, you talk about Brady, you talk about Brown, Patrick Mahomes last year MVP. Cam won MVP, and he had several good years of playoff runs, and he didn't make the
I'm
cover.
shocked
That was actually the year they
who
had
did
the
he
fan
lose
poll,
to?
though.
Beckham? Is that who he lost to?
I think so.
Yeah.
because that was the year they had the fan poll. The fans voted.
The fact that he wasn't on the cover of Madden, which I'm not that mad about.
No.
But after
Not-
that MVP season is a little weird.
Yeah.
I mean-
That was one of the best NFL seasons in a long time. Since the Patriots went undefeated and lost in the Super Bowl to the Giants. Woohoo. But, I was kind of shocked. But like I said, that was also the year they broke out the fan poll, which was kind of, what, that was 15. Didn't they have a different name for it that year, too? I don't think it was like Madden 16 or something.
it was with 25.
Madden 25.
Yeah.
That's right. 25th anniversary. That's right.
So, anyway, we were up here obviously at the draft, but we were talking about the draft and the cities that it's been in with Harrison. You know what's funny? It's the third year in a row. This really means nothing besides a cool little coincidence. But this is the third year in a row that the Panthers are playing the draft host city.
Mm-hmm.
Anything
is
to make
fun.
of that?
We'll
does that
see.
mean
They
does that
beat-
mean we'll be playing someone in Vegas next year?
They beat
What's going on here?
Dallas.
They lost
They-
to Philly,
They did lose to Philly that year.
and then Tennessee comes to the
Yeah.
to Bank of America this year.
I feel like they've got a pretty good.
I have to say, and I was waiting for some more Titans fans as we're staring at this huge logo in front of us. That the Titans are kind of my second favorite team in the
Right.
league. Not that I really have a second favorite team, but a team that I actually root for. After going to the Riot trip here. By the way, if you can go to a football game in Nashville, I don't care what team you follow, you got to do it. Have you been here to a football
A
game?
football
here?
game, no. They did when
Just
I was
picture
here.
everything that we're doing,
Uh-huh.
and then a football game.
So, well,
It's-
that's the beautiful part.
yeah,
It's
so-
football and music and
So
Nashville.
I always pull for them. The fans here are super cool. I think they're that type of fan that has very low expectations, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just that they haven't been a great team so they're very football friendly. I
Right.
guess is a term for it. Even like people say, Cleveland, whatever, the Cleveland Brown fans they had no choice but to be humble, but they're
Still dedicated.
Because that's my problem when it comes to the Patriots. Here comes my Patriots hate. Is anything that you say about the Patriots or any victory there is like it becomes very defensive. Oh, when's the last time you did this?
How many rings?
Yeah. And Cleveland's just like, dude, we're happy to be within a field goal. And it's just like a very different football feeling. And I think that you kind of, and this sounds like I'm insulting them, but I'm really not. It's just like it's very, very fun atmosphere here. And I think that's why the draft is going to be even better, because the draft itself is that atmosphere. Being in Nashville, I think it's a super friendly environment. Everyone's just couldn't wait to get down Broadway. Everyone's having a good time down there. There's no animosity. Not that there should be at the draft, but I think that makes what Nashville is such a cool city to see a football game.
Yeah, and like I said, I've only been here one time before, but a few locals that I met here, like just going outside of like Broadway a little bit here and there, were always completely nice, always recommending places. I imagine you mentioned Nashville, Titans fans. I imagine they're going to be the same way. You're talking about Cleveland. They're just they went from this to now having Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry.
Dude,
you thought they were dedicated before.
Yeah.
I mean, they just
it's
like
a good time.
LeBron's gone, but it's a good time.
It's a good time to be a Browns fan, or just in Cleveland, I guess.
On paper, anyway. We'll see what happens.
Maybe not basketball-wise, but
yeah.
I thought that was pretty good. And then there is that. What week is that Tennessee game?
It was the leak said week 1. It was we'll have to pull up the schedule.
The
and have that
incorrect
ready.
leak.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in 16 game schedule. I don't know where.
At one point,
but
somewhere.
Let's talk about the Titans for a minute. I mean, a team that clearly needs, I think, a receiver.
Yeah.
Could that be a place for DK Metcalf?
Possibly. They just spent a top 10 pick. I think they had the 9th pick a few years back, and they got Corey Davis 2 years ago, I believe it was. And I was a fan. I was a big fan of Corey Davis. I still like him. He had a little bit of injury issues. I still think he can be a threat. You saw him kind of come on towards the end of last year. I played receiver my whole life, receiver safety.
Me too.
So it's kind of like my favorite position.
Oh, like in real life?
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry.
It's the video games?
I got you.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm number 81.
I'm not talking about like a creative player.
Yeah, okay.
But your creative player is probably a lot better than I was.
He was good. He was
Sorry.
a slot guy. Yeah.
5'5".
5'9", number 81. He was
81.
good.
Oh, yeah.
he was good.
That sounds. Who else?
Yeah.
What other guy had that number 81?
No one. I don't think anyone. No.
Wasn't a Anquan guy or
wasn't
something?
wasn't a goat. No,
I think I
don't
played
know
with
what
him.
you're talking about.
No, but that's one of my favorite positions to dive into each year. I was a big fan of Corey Davis. It is it's possible they could go for another DK Metcalf, but their QB situation is starting to get a little shaky now. With Mariota's had a big injury. He hasn't really jumped out. He's had flashes here and there, but is he going to be? I mean, is that the guy you're looking for? If you're a Titans fan, is that a franchise quarterback for you? Looking into the future,
That's a good question. I mean, I think he is,
Yeah.
but I could see
I
why.
like
I could see
Mariota.
why you could say he isn't.
Yeah.
I guess is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
I mean, kind of similar to Jameis Winston with the Bucks. I know a lot of they got a new helm in there with Arians and stuff. I know a lot of fans now are starting to.
By the way, I'll take my L on the what do I keep stepping on? The Bucks. I said Jameis Winston's career was over.
Yeah, we both agreed on that, and it's
Maybe I went a little aggressive on that.
look, you get Bobby on him, he'll let you have it.
We'll get Bobby on. Yeah, Bobby's a big Jameis fan, I think. Yeah.
It's like Chris calls you the Patriots fan, and you hate
Yep.
Cam Newton. I
Yep.
guess Bobby is like you love Jameis Winston. So I don't know.
The Den hates Cam Newton segment ended pretty quickly. But man, yeah, again, 6 hours 22 minutes here till night 1 kicks off.
It's taking so long, and it's going to
It
fly
is.
by.
It's going to go real quick. But hey, let's talk about real quickly just draft period. The rumors of Nick Bosa. I mean, all of this, was Kyler Murray a smokescreen kind of deal? Now it's night 1. You're hearing the Nick Bosa stuff. He's had some controversial things come up on Twitter. People digging up old tweets. What happens in that Cardinals first pick? Let's start there because everyone was sure it was Kyler Murray. Now is it?
Dude.
And if not, what do you do with Josh Rosen?
The number one pick is always like so mystique and suspense filled.
The length that they went out with it they put out like a the schedule, right? They put out like a movie trailer, I think, and it didn't have Josh Rosen in it. So is this that deep that if they weren't going to pick Josh Rosen, like they would do that on purpose? And is this smokescreen like all hands on deck, or do you think they're still going Kyler?
I don't know, man. With it, Steve Wilkes being gone now, they bring in, Kingsbury, and, he likes that air raid offense. But this guy that, I saw an analyst, I can't remember his name. I'd love to shout him out for the tweet he was talking about with this, talking about how he couldn't put together, 7 wins with Patrick Mahomes, as his quarterback in college. If he drafts Kyler Murray, who says he's going to be able to win in the NFL with him or Rosen? I really
with
don't
that
know.
team. I mean,
Yeah.
not a lot to be happy about.
And still one of the worst offensive
the
lines.
18.
And again, that's what everything comes down to. Everybody's talking about the New York Giants drafting a quarterback, and it's like, y'all have bad, you have bad offensive line.
Well,
play.
that
It's
came
gonna
up
affect.
last year, and I know there's a lot of people on both sides of this fence, and people say it about McCaffrey too, is you have a Giants team that had their quarterback take some of the most sacks in the NFL, and yeah, you got a great running back, but was Saquon Barkley
Did he
nothing
help?
against him?
Yep.
But was that position just like almost a wasted draft in a way that they should have went, maybe some line, because here they are again picking 6th this year.
Yep.
4 picks in the top 100, I believe, for Gettleman. 12 picks this year.
And you lose Odell Beckham.
I don't know. I mean,
that's tough, man. And it worked out for at the time. Yes, everybody here was questioning the McCaffrey pick, like you said, about saying we have running back is an issue, but is it that big of an issue to take a top 10 pick with this guy?
Yep. Will Brinson.
It worked out. Yeah, it worked out.
We might
great
speak
for
to
us.
Will Brinson this weekend, but he says he would never take a running back in the
Yes,
top
and
10.
he still sticks to that.
Yeah.
He's pretty adamant about that. I don't know. A lot of talk about the Panthers taking a quarterback. I saw buddy Billy Marshall was actually talking about his whole theory behind this is if Carolina doesn't go offensive line in the first round, he doesn't think they'll take a QB in the second, like a bunch of people, or third, like a bunch of people are talking about. So back to the original thing, if you're struggling with the offensive line, should you go ahead and draft a quarterback and put behind a bad offensive line and jeopardize
We saw what
it?
happened when Taylor Heineke went behind what people thought was an okay line that aren't Panthers fans, and you saw what happened there. I think that, obviously we talk about Cam masking how bad
Exactly.
that situation is. You saw very quickly how bad it really was.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, do you put a new rookie behind something like that? I mean, some teams have no choice.
Right.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But if you do, I mean, I don't know. That's a tough sell.
Yeah, and everybody we had these same discussions with Baker Mayfield last year, talking about the number 1 overall pick. Is he going to be able to come into the NFL and live up to the hype? And that's the same thing with Kyler Murray. Both of them from the same colleges and stuff, same system. Baker's doing pretty daggone good for himself after he finally got into the game. So maybe Kyler can do the same. He's a little bit smaller, which is always worries you, but. Who knows with this first pick, man? It's always somebody can trade up and take it from.
Yeah,
I don't know.
A lot of trade ups talking. I know I forget who it was. Maybe Rappaport. I think that's a good guess if you don't know who it was. He's pretty good on Twitter. Saying that the Bills are looking for suitors, and if there's anyone that knows the Bills, it's the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
You got Bean over there, so
A lot of relationships.
if you trade up, though, I mean, you got to hit it.
Dude.
You can't screw that up, right? I mean,
Oof, we're already right in the middle of the pack with the number of picks in this draft, and with so many holes. I don't know who. Is there really a guy that you feel comfortable giving up later picks for, to move up and grab that you really think is going to make that much of an impact? And then there's also people talking about the Jets are at 3, or they're at 3, right? I think they're trying to ship out a pick too. I really don't think Carolina's gonna move up. If anything, if they move at all, I would think they move back in the first round. But I mean, the crazy things have happened. It is Marty Herney. We've seen him. He loves trading drafts.
Yeah.
And he loves trading for the draft. So, and see how it all plays out.
let's do it. Well, hey, we were talking about
Is it
running
time yet?
backs. Yeah, we were talking about running backs there. We're actually going to bring on our friend Sheena here in a minute. We're going to take a quick break. Sheena, quick out the blocks, is going to join us. We're going to play a little game with Sheena and see how well she knows some speedsters in the NFL.
I think I
fine?
want to race her.
You want to race her?
I think it's a bad idea.
Okay.
Actually, I'm not going to do that. It's not a good idea.
Okay. Well, anyway,
Not going to do that.
we'll be back with Sheena in just a minute. You're listening to Tripp and Den here on the Riot Network.
from Nashville, it's Keep PounDENN.
What up, what up, what up? Back here at the Tin Roof, here on Demombrian, I believe it's called, Tripp. I've been reminded
Emphasis
of
on the
that
O.
many times. Yeah. Happy to be joined now by our friend Sheena. What's going on, Sheena?
Hi, loving Nashville so far.
Sheena_Marie 3 on Twitter. Quick out the blocks is your company name, right?
It is.
And you are just everywhere lately.
Killing it.
I really am everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, we saw you
Have
at
you slept?
Panthers games,
NCAA tournament?
The NCAA tournament, rookie year, you said, doing the Hornets.
Yes.
How'd that go? Not for the Hornets, but for you. I know how it went for the Hornets.
It was different. I like to, give a lot of play-by-play. You can't really do that in basketball because
It's
it's
very
so fast back
yes.
and forth. But it was a good time. It was a good experience.
So, and also Super Bowl.
Yes.
Oh,
Tell us
man.
about besides the Patriots winning. Tell us about the Super Bowl.
was surreal, and I didn't even really realize it until I looked back, and I was like, just covered the Super Bowl. That was kind of cool.
It's like the mecca of sports
but see,
events.
I like the game, though, because I like defense. So I thought it was a good game.
I loved that Super Bowl. A lot of people
did
don't
too.
like the
Good Super
scoring.
Bowl to me. It was tactical.
Yeah. So, Sheena, just from last night, you called me out on Chex Mix. What do you call those? What do you call those things? The little biscuits? That's what you're talking about, right?
Demonic.
No, but
Demonic is what I call
sure.
them.
Sure, okay, but I don't
think
even know
people
what
call
they
them
are.
like rye chips. I think
Rye
they're
chips,
like rye
yeah, yeah.
chips.
Those
Okay,
are the
yeah.
best parts of the
Disgusting.
Chex.
It's like
no,
nips, you know?
can you help us out here?
Absolutely.
No, absolutely
but
not.
you know what,
Uh-uh.
though? I never knew people liked them until Josh from,
Okay.
from
Yep.
Roy and
Yep.
Riot and Kevin. So it might just be
Okay.
a
Oh,
Roy and
Kevin
Riot
likes them.
thing.
I do
Okay,
not
yeah.
like them.
Yeah, you guys like rye chips and lemon Gatorade. I mean, who likes that?
They actually force feed us the lemon lime. Yeah,
I actually do like lemon lime Gatorade, but no, I'm not a
See,
fan
it's
of.
a-
I'm
see,
not
it's
a
a
rye
Roy and
chips.
Riot
I'm not a
thing.
rye chips
That's
guy.
one of
Roy
the
Riot
that's
thing.
one of the prerequisites is you have to
Right.
you like the rye chips.
It's your initiation.
Um,
You have to chug a bottle of lemon lime Gatorade.
So was this your first year covering the Panthers full season too?
No, it's actually
Okay.
my fourth.
Okay, I
Well,
didn't know that.
I'll be
Probably should have done my
going
research.
into my fourth. I'm sorry. I've done 3 full seasons. I'll be going into my fourth.
Okay, very
I just
cool.
did it a little differently. I mean, I learn more every season, and I try to take that with me and just provide more in depth. So this past season was my most complete in depth.
Yep.
It was my first time traveling on the road for the entire season, so that's probably why it was a little bit more
Yep.
visible.
Yeah.
And I met Sheena in like the second half of the season.
Yeah, yeah.
In my worst moments. So Sheena
Doritos?
I met Sheena on the Dorito night.
Perfect.
So
Perfect.
that's yeah, and then another time I have like a small, like I don't have like Bank of America. I have like Bank of this
New
neighborhood.
Orleans.
Yeah. So the minute I
New
went to New
Orleans.
Orleans, it was like
Fraud.
done. Credit cards off, right? So I'm in an Uber
That's
and
scary.
I didn't bring my credit cards with me because I'll spend them like an idiot. So I couldn't pay the Uber driver. I
Oh.
went to an ATM, shut down. So I'm texting Jamie. I'm like, dude, you got to let me borrow some money. And so I'm like, don't tell anyone. And he's like, well, I just told Sheena, and
She's on the way.
So I showed up. I was like,
It was so funny because we were eating like loaded fries in some random diner.
yes. It was a very strange
It was
scene
such
that
a
we were
weird
in.
night.
Oh my
But
goodness.
fans are coming in. I've seen all these different jerseys here. I haven't really. Is that it? No, that's not a Saints
That's a
jersey. No,
Thielen
that's
jersey.
a Thielen jersey. Okay.
that's a Thielen
We haven't
jersey.
seen many Falcons and Saints jerseys
I
yet.
see
so
a
we're doing
Titans
okay.
down
We're
there.
doing okay.
Yeah.
Love Nashville though. Pretty cool for the draft to be here. Huh?
It is pretty cool. I can't wait to get downtown and see everything out now that
Yeah, I haven't
everything's
been
been
down
set
there.
up. I have to head out there around 2-ish
Okay.
to pick up credentials and
There you go.
get set and everything, see who I can snatch off the carpet if it doesn't
Yeah.
rain.
Get them.
So, you have a track background.
I do have a track background.
Would you run the 40 in?
I don't
Unofficial.
remember.
Because
I
everything's
haven't run the 40 since like my sophomore year of high school.
Do you run the 40 in school?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
I just ran it because I like racing boys. And
I was.
my weightlifting teacher or the weightlifting coach was my track coach. So he used to like make the boys race me.
Uh-huh,
And he
okay.
thought he would get such a kick out of it because I would beat the boys. But I don't remember what my time was.
Yeah, everyone has like an unofficial time, like because they didn't do the
Yeah.
40 until whatever it was.
Right,
so
right.
like Bo Jackson ran like a unofficial 4:13.
Mm-hmm. It only
Which
started really
like
clocking.
I
it.
have an like if they release like a new beer at like Lawson's or something, my unofficial 40 time is like under 4, but it's not like
the morning
official.
after. It
So-
might be even lower. I don't know.
Right.
So anyway, Sheena, we know that your company's quick out the blocks, of course. We figured we'd play a little game with you if that's fun.
I'm scared.
As far as runners go. So I'm gonna pull up
Okay.
It's going to be a visual game for.
Oh, okay, that might work.
For our players or our listeners as well. So, quick out the blocks is your not little company, your great company. We're going to see how quick you are in the blocks. So, we've listed
man.
some 40 times with some players here.
Oh man, now, why those?
Well,
Why those
I'm
players?
going to tell you why.
Well, you know why one had to be.
I'm
up
going to
there.
tell you why. So we're going to start on the left, and that is going to be the greatest quarterback of all time, of course.
Yes, the
Cam
Mr. Newton.
And while we're on the GOAT category, we'll stay with the best receiver of all time, Anquan Bolden.
Okay, I'm with you there, Seminole.
Okay. So then we got a decent running back, Barry Sanders. He
Okay.
was okay.
Yeah.
A lot of talk this week about defensive lineman Montez Sweat, especially for the Panthers too.
Yeah.
Breaking the 40 record this year though, in as far as D linemen. So set the best defensive lineman 40.
That's Den's clue to you, like a little
Yep.
hint for you. I think.
We have a player. He's a player. He's okay. He's not okay. It's Calvin Benjamin there in a Chiefs uniform.
Is he playing?
And of course, we do have to, appease the hometown here quarterback who we were just talking about a minute ago,
Marcus Mariota.
Marcus Mariota. So what we're gonna have you do, and I can help you do it, is we want you to match these up on the top here, and we'll show you the answers after, as to who ran these 40s. So let's start on the easy end.
Okay.
Who do you think's the fastest guy in this group, and who do you think's the slowest guy?
Fastest guy in this group, I'm going to
40
go-
time wise. 40 time wise.
Yeah.
40 time wise, I'm going to go with Mariota.
Marcus Mariota, fastest 40 time.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll put him in that box there. Who do you think's the slowest guy in this group?
Bring it home now. Bring it home.
See, this gets hard.
KB.
Yes.
Okay.
That hurts me, KB. It does.
All right. And then I just kind of let you fill that in here. You can tell me
Okay.
who to put where.
Anquan, I'm going to say 4.59.
Okay. And what do you think? What do you think your 40 was?
It was under 5.
Okay.
You better than me.
Well,
was under 5.
Josh Parcell and them
Yeah.
at FNZ ran it today. Josh ran a 5 something. So if you ran
Well,
under 5,
They
you're the
were running on concrete, so like let's give him a little bit of leeway
Ooh,
there.
okay,
He
call
was
out.
he was running on
Wait,
concrete.
that's easier.
No, I think
it's
it's a little harder. Yeah.
Okay,
I
okay.
think it's harder.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Cam for 4.41.
Okay.
Barry Sanders at 4.61.
Ooh. You don't think that's a little shot at Barry there?
I mean,
I don't actually. I actually don't know the answer. So I
You don't?
No.
I'm gonna put my guy here at 4.48.
Montez Sweat with
I'm
a
gonna put Sweat at
4.48.
4.48.
So I'm gonna let you think this over, and make any final changes that you'd like.
That's really not easy when you do it live.
It's
you know?
really not.
Really put it on the spot. I actually would have no
Let's
idea.
maybe switch Anquan and Cam.
Okay.
Should I? Wait. I don't know. You paused. Do you know the answers?
No, I didn't know what you
Don't know
meant.
the answers.
You mean you want Anquan to go
Yeah.
4.41?
Let's flip those two.
Final answer? On those.
Yeah,
Well, I'll let you keep doing it until you say you're done. We can hang out all day.
I'm done.
You only
Good
get
job,
one
Ty.
chance, though.
I'm done. Do I want another answer?
Are you sure you're done?
I think I'm done.
All right. Here come the answers, Sheena.
Hey, y'all, don't judge me.
Look, I don't
He
know.
picked
I
the
mean,
worst possible group of people for
This
me
is
to put
this is
in
your final
order.
answer?
This is my final answer.
Okay, so you got one right, and it actually happened to be
One,
Cam.
And it was Cam. Well, that's the most important
And
one.
You got it with the late change, a little audible
late
there.
change.
Yeah,
Go.
nice.
But Sweat with the 441
Wow.
is extra
Not
impressive.
bad.
Yes,
I knew it was 4 something.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Anquan Bolden with the
Anquan
4.71.
Bolden, that just shows that maybe you shouldn't put too much stock into the 40 because you
Absolutely.
can still be one of the best receivers
Depending
of all time.
on the position.
Yes.
True.
And I mean, I'm glad
Stop.
you said that
Fair.
because you remember John Ross ran that blazing 40, and it hadn't necessarily translated into an electrifying season
Yep.
for him. So
I was going to
you're
put
right
him
about
on here,
that.
but I figured you would know
And something-
an answer already.
yeah, I would know that one.
And question for you, since
just because I was there.
you ran track and stuff with these speed guys, and you mentioned John Ross was kind of reminded me of it.
Mm-hmm.
Is the narrative that speed people are more apt to injuries? Is there any do you see any correlation there?
No,
know
I
there's
don't. As long as you're stretching properly and taking care of your
yourself.
body,
Now,
yeah.
some freak things happen. I mean,
Yeah, 'cause
obviously
I
you
mean-
roll an ankle or
'Cause
high sprains.
think
and-
about Olympians. I mean, I
Yeah.
know it's two totally different sports,
Right.
but I think as long as you're taking care of yourself and stretching and doing everything properly, no, I don't think the speed correlates to injuries.
Because I know a lot of people out there, when you start tying people like John Ross or Chris Johnson, holler,
Yeah,
Howard alumni
ECU.
there.
He'll be
ECU,
here
baby.
tonight.
Yes, he will.
He's throwing a
Retiring
party.
Titan. Yep, it's gonna be
Throwing
cool.
a welcome to the league party
yes.
And
for the first
but it is
rounders.
interesting you say that, though, because a lot of the worst injuries in the NFL are non-contact. So I don't know, maybe it's the weight you put on your legs, or I don't know.
And
if
some people
speed
like worry
goes into
about
that, but-
hamstrings. I know it was a big deal. Like Dante
Yeah.
Jackson when they mentioned he had like a little hamstring
Little
strain last
hamstring,
year.
yeah.
Obviously, that kind of always worries you because a hamstring injury can linger depending on the severity. But obviously, he was back the next week and was fine. So
Right.
I know a lot of people just always get worried. Fans will start talking about, oh no, we can't get speed guys can be dangerous injury wise. But
I think that's a myth. I think
We'll
that's a
roll
myth.
with it.
Just like the athletic quarterback.
I'll
myth.
take
Yeah.
some speed guys. though,
yeah,
here in Carolina.
athletic. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Anyway, Sheena, thanks for hopping on with us. We're
Yes.
here again at the Tin Roof here on Demombrian in Nashville.
That's
Come
3
hang out
times
with
in a row
us.
he's got
Yeah,
it,
we
right?
got Riot swag, we got koozies, Music
You
City
guys
Riots
always
coming
do
up.
such a good job, man. The Riot Report is
Dude,
worldwide. I'm
it's what-
always impressed in every city.
we try, man. Yeah, there's,
Y'all don't
you know,
play.
they got it
Killing
going
it.
on at Bank of America today, and then they have the two states
South Carolina
draft party. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
so,
gonna be fun.
Yes.
We're all over the place. So
Everywhere.
thanks for hopping on with us. Before we let you go,
course.
though, night one prediction. Where do you want the Panthers to go tonight? Where do you think they end up tonight?
I want them to go edge rusher tonight.
Anyone
Um,
specific?
I know a certain college of one guy that you would love to have, probably.
Of
Who's-
course, Brian Burns.
Okay.
I would
Yep.
love for my Seminole family to join
Yeah.
me in the
Yep.
black and blue.
So-
that would be amazing.
I would love him
but
too.
I don't think Sweat is going to drop down to 16. I just don't. I think he's an awesome prospect, but I just don't think he'll be there.
So I don't think Burns will be there. I don't.
I don't either.
Is there
I
a
mean-
scenario that neither of them are there? Because
Yeah,
I'm
then you
on the
go Gary.
offensive. I'm on the offensive tackle train. Though.
I think you go Rashawn Gary.
you know, you-
I think that their first round pick is definitely going to be a D line guy.
Okay, I was on that
Yeah.
thinking, but lately I've been persuaded that we need to protect that man.
Oh,
Cam, you know?
that's definitely
So-
a need. So I mean, I don't think any Panthers fans would be disappointed with going D line or offensive lineman. Those are honestly, there's a lot of holes on the team
Yes.
this year, but those two are the most glaring, especially with them going. But with them going to a 3-4, it's been rumored they're going to go to a 3-4.
Bruce
So
Irvin now.
They're going to
Yep.
be looking for some of
So
those
that's the thing. I mean,
edge rusher, linebacker, hybrid type
Yep.
players. So
So we talked about Alan Bailey still maybe on the
Yep.
horizon.
Now, what do you-
Bruce Irvin.
what do you think about the possibility of them trading up? I've seen the Green Bay, the trade up to pick 12. Do you
Yep,
think
and
that's
so? We were talking about that a minute ago
possible?
with the Bills. Our suitor there as well. I think if you trade up, you got to hit. I mean,
you have to?
Yeah.
That trade up and that not being
Yeah.
a super impact
It's a
player
big
could
loss.
impact you for years.
Yes.
And
For sure.
I don't like it. I think there's enough people in this draft, unless they have a guy that they are like, we have to get this guy at all costs. Who that might be, I don't really know. There's so many names that it could be.
Right.
I wouldn't be mad if they traded up and they got a big name, but I would prefer them not to trade. I guess
think
is my answer.
I don't know, but for me, I mean, I know I haven't been necessarily mocking drafts for that
No?
long, just 5 years, but I think that this is one of the most unpredictable drafts.
Yep.
It is.
I
In
agree.
recent
And you know
memory,
what,
like you really outside of Kyler Murray, which
Yep.
if
We
by
don't even.
some
we were
stroke
just talking.
he just doesn't go to Arizona,
Nick
does
Bosa
he even
change everything.
fall?
Nick
Does
Bosa
he fall out
talked
of the
this
first
morning.
round? Like it's so
who
much.
needs a quarterback?
Yeah.
You know, you're absolutely right. So, and we had Connor Orr from Sports Illustrated on last week, and he said this could be one of those drafts where the experts could do their mocks of
And it'd be
32
completely
and not
different.
get maybe get one right if you know
Yeah.
top two, but and not get any, maybe get 30 wrong.
Like last year, I got
So-
here and I did I don't know if you guys know John Brankus. He's with Soul and Science. They with Trent Dilfer.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
have
yeah.
the show. So we actually interviewed the morning of the draft, and we ranked those 5 quarterbacks. Of course, we had everybody going in the first round. No one, until we got to Dallas, was speaking of Baker Mayfield as a number 1.
I was
Really?
No one.
because I was up in the media the box of
Yeah.
the hell's the name of their AT&T.
AT&T.
Yeah.
And-
So cool. I
and
didn't know
every-
you then, but I was there.
Yeah, we
How
were so
neat.
close.
Who knew? He needed
And
a
everyone was
Uber
like,
ride.
"Dude, no way!" Like this is real. And it was
Yeah.
like it was a big moment. That
It
was
was a big moment. Like,
even like media, everyone was like, "Wow, I did not see this coming."
I promise, when I landed in Dallas, I was not thinking about Baker Mayfield at number 1. I mean, it was a good pick. It was a
'Cause
solid pick.
who
Yeah,
was the
obviously.
They were
the big
talking about
favorite?
Josh Rosen and
Right,
not Josh
the-
Rosen. I'm sorry, Josh Allen.
Allen,
Yeah.
Allen, and Darnold.
With the
yeah.
big
Josh
arm.
Allen and Sam Darnold were the two quarterbacks that everybody's like, which one's going to be number 1? And then boom, it's neither.
Yep.
So it's going to be exciting. I'm excited, you know.
Love it.
We're in Nashville. It's going to be an
gonna be
unpredictable
so
draft,
much
but it's
fun.
going to be so much fun. So I'm excited.
I don't think you can. So Tripp said, I don't think you can go too wrong.
Yeah.
If you're the Panthers in the first
You
round.
really can't. You can't. There's so
I mean,
many.
you definitely can, but
Yeah.
I mean,
but you know what I mean.
yeah.
It's going to be hard to really disappoint me
Yeah.
They
like
have-
all offseason.
They have to go O-line or D-line.
Yes,
They
you
have
gotta
to.
hit
If
the
they go
trenches.
outside of that, that's when I think you're going to be a little pissed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like
as long
all
as they
the
stay there, you
like
should be
Dan brought up
fine.
earlier, all the mocks talking about Carolina potentially taking. You saw several out there saying DK Metcalf at 16, and it's
Nah.
like where
Nah.
he had Connor Orr on.
Connor Orr is a big DK Metcalf to the Panthers.
Like,
To the Panther, I just don't see
that
it.
makes no
I
sense.
don't
that-
see
that's-
That would be
that's a big
disappointing.
waste.
Because if you're going to go receiver again in the first round, you know, you got. I know you told me to wrap this up. Sorry, y'all.
No,
I
no,
know
no,
y'all
no,
were supposed
no,
to be on a break.
We've actually like today was going way too well as far as on time,
Yeah.
so we need to screw this up for it to be
sorry.
a real Keep PounDEN
Sorry,
podcast.
Rioters.
No, we're fine.
But,
We're only 30 seconds over. I love this.
Yeah, like another first round wide receiver, I don't think fits well in Carolina's system. If you're gonna add a receiver to that group, you're looking for a veteran number one.
And, well, I think
target.
they kind of,
Right.
maybe not number one, but I think they kind of did with. I think Chris Hogan signing is a very
I
under
don't
the
think-
radar.
I just don't think Chris Hogan is the number one.
No,
Oh no,
Yeah,
not,
that's
not
the
a number
thing,
one.
like,
But,
so-
but I'm saying that I
yeah.
think he fits into the Panthers very well.
He does.
Because one thing about Chris Hogan that I pointed out last show was he's a deep threat. A
Yeah.
lot of people think that
Yeah.
Torrey is. I'm thinking Chris Hogan will be more of an impact going down the field than Torrey Smith will be. And I think that he can hop that into that role. You got Jarius right there as well for third down.
But do you think that Chris Hogan and Torrey Smith are both going to be on that roster?
That's
the
the
question.
Yep.
I think Chris Hogan will. What's wrong with Chris Hogan?
No, nothing's wrong
Oh.
with them. I'm just saying I don't think they keep both of them.
Well, see, and
Me
this
By
neither.
the time
neither.
it kicks
So-
off in September, I
Okay.
don't think both
this
of
is
them
something
gonna
I
be on
brought
the
up
roster.
on his pod a week or so ago, talking about all that is with Bobby mainly is with Torrey Smith and Chris Hogan. Both are 2-time Super Bowl champions,
Right.
but Torrey was more of the leadership role in the wide receiver room. I don't see that from Chris Hogan necessarily. And I
don't-
think that's
Well,
one
Chris-
thing they kind of value
Chris has
with
been
Torrey.
on
It depends,
multiple
though.
Super Bowl
Yeah.
teams.
It
though.
depends.
He's
You
played
don't
with Tom
see-
Brady, who like basically,
Well, yeah,
if you
well-
go near him, you're like incredible
I mean,
leader.
pretty much because like he's been winning the Super Bowl with like Joe Smokes. He's been turning them. I mean, and
Deion
I'm not a
Branch and-
Patriots fan, but I have to be logical and I have to
Right.
be realistic. I mean, Bill Belichick is winning Super Bowls with guys that no one knew
Right.
He's the
who the
best.
hell they were coming out
I'll
of
never,
college.
I'll never say a bad thing about Bill Belichick. As much as I don't like the
Oh,
Patriots,
you have to
he
respect
is,
what he's
he
done.
is the
Yeah.
best.
You do have to respect it.
Absolutely.
I abhor the
Yeah.
Patriots, but
So
you have to respect
Yeah.
that. So
anyway, we're gonna wrap it up. Sheena again at Sheena_ Marie 3.
Yep.
Is that correct? Off the top
That's
of my
right.
head. I like that.
killing
Instagram,
it,
Twitter,
man.
all of
Yeah.
that.
Quick out the blocks. Looking forward to the draft coverage you have this week, and
Yes.
we'll I have a
Awesome,
feeling we'll
thank
see you
you.
around town this weekend.
You'll
Hopefully-
definitely see me
Sound
around
good.
town.
Hopefully, you can grab a lot of good people tonight. We'll get some-
If it's raining, I'm not grabbing any.
Besides the umbrella or the
Yeah.
poncho.
Exactly.
we got a couple of those. I'll be
There you
giving them
go.
out.
I mean,
Yeah.
they said the media should be covered though,
Yeah,
so we should be fine.
hopefully.
have
Anyway,
to.
we'll see you down there, and
Yeah.
here's to a good night one for the Panthers. All right,
Oh, I thought you were about to pound
well, we
me.
can pound it. Yeah, we'll keep pounding. Now, that was real awkward. We're gonna take a we're gonna take a quick break. You listen to the Tripp and Den on the Riot Network. We'll be right back.
That was fun.
Live from Nashville, it's Keep Pound Den.
Welcome back to the Tin Roof here in Nashville on DeMonbrian, here with Tripp Morgan at Panthers Source. My name's Den, of course, at Keep PounDEN. That was fun talking to Sheena.
Yes.
And we're just going to switch it right over to another guest. Hopefully this works, and I was able to hook that up all right. I believe that we have the managing editor of the Riot Report, Josh Klein, on the phone right now. Josh, you there?
I am here.
There we go.
Wish that I was in Nashville. I'm in stupid Charlotte. Stinks over here. You can't drink on the street. There's not live music. They don't even know what a honky tonk is.
Well, I don't even know. Can you drink on the street down on Broadway? I'm not even sure if you can. We should probably find that out. But that sounds like a fun little atmosphere. We actually haven't been down there yet, Josh. To the
yeah, don't get arrested, but I think you can. I don't know.
I was gonna
feel
say
like the rules don't really apply in Nashville.
I was going to say, I think we did last time I was down here. I'm pretty sure it was okay because I was surprised when I heard about it. But
yeah, sorry, we brought Josh on a little early. Sorry for the abrupt call to you, but we figured we'd go ahead and check in and back on what's going on, not only at Bank of America Stadium, but also what's going on with the Roaring Riot tailgate. That's kicking off in just a little bit, I believe, over there. It's 2:10 over there, right, Josh?
Yes,
Yeah,
2:10.
I can
so
do,
I'm
I can
actually
do time zones.
my mid-afternoon nap is about to kick off here in the next as soon as I get off the phone with you. So
okay,
get excited for that.
Well, we won't keep you that long, but hey, we were just talking to Sheena quick. Let's just talk quickly about night one here. I mean, you're around the media. You're going to be in that. I don't know how crazy it will be media room at Bank of America Stadium, all the way over in Charlotte. So not exactly here in the in the festivities, but what's the feeling over there as far as we can talk edge rushers, tackles, all we want. When it comes down to night one, I guess, Josh, where do you think realistically happens, and what do you, Josh, want to ideally happen?
I think there are a couple of different scenarios that can happen. I think that the first scenario is that there is one of the two guys on the board that they are really interested in, and those are obviously the names that we're all familiar with, Brian Burns and Andre Dillard. I think are 1 and 2 at the top of their board of realistic targets that they could acquire. And if both of those guys are gone, then you go down to that next tier of like your Jonah Williamses and your I guess Clellan Farrell is on that list, maybe Jawan Taylor. In my mind, I think there's a real scenario, and Vincent Richardson put out a mock draft today that where all of those guys that the Panthers want are gone at the 16th pick. Not only the edge rushers, but I think once you get past those edge rushers and tackles, I think there's an interior defensive line that's in the mix too. I think Christian Wilkins is a guy that's moving up their board or was already up their board, and we're just kind of catching up to where they had him. But I do think the Panthers they see a lot of value in somebody like Christian Williams that could maybe play in the defensive line in a 3-man front if they're going to do a little bit more of that. And I think that next year, we've heard that the Panthers are looking at a 3-4, but I do think that it's going to be a little bit more 3-4 than maybe we think it is.
it certainly seems that way.
Yeah, and it's weird this year, Josh, because you go into the Panthers defense has been a pretty steady look as far as the 4-3, and you kind of know what you're missing and you're lacking. But this is the first time in a while that you're going in here needing edge, but you don't really know what the defense is going to look like.
Yep.
I mean, it's not like you're like, we need to put a guy where Julius Peppers played last year. It's not that easy this year, right?
Yeah, it's actually kind of fun in a weird way that, like, you can, with the way that they go in some of these draft picks, you can kind of see what their offense or defense might look like next year. Mm-hmm. And so I think if they go with a kind of a standard edge rusher like a Clellan Farrell, I think you're looking like, okay, so maybe it's going to be more of a multiple front. It's going to be a lot of what we're used to. But I think a guy like Brian Burns, he's so versatile. He's really good when he drops back into coverage.
Yep.
And I think that that's something that that's why I think he's so high on their board, because if they run a lot of 3-4, Brian Burns can stand up when he needs to. He can drop back and cover running backs. He can cover tight ends. But he can also put his hand in the dirt and rush if he needs to. And I think that's something that's going to be really valuable on this defense next year. So if they go with somebody like that, then it's like, they're going to be more 3-4. And then if they go with somebody like a Christian Wilkins or even like Jerry Tillery, somebody like that, then you're like, it's really like it's a real 3-4 as opposed to this multiple front. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do. And then, of course, they could also trade up for Daniel Jones. I think that's probably the most likely scenario.
So what is your ideal scenario? Like, what is your best case scenario for Carolina tonight?
Bosa drops to 16. No.
Well, you had Kyler Murray in the 6th round of your mock draft, so
I love that mock, by the way, Josh.
Very,
I think that one was spot on. You got my vote.
Yeah, well, it was. I know I upset a lot of people by putting a quarterback in that mock draft. So,
let alone which quarterback.
I think, exactly. It doesn't matter which quarterback. If you draft the one, I think a best case for me is Andre Dillard. I think that we've been talking about the defense the whole time, but if you have a chance to shore up the offensive line and make that offensive line from left to right, Andre Dillard, Darrell Williams, Matt Paradis, Trey Turner, and Taylor Moton. That is the best offensive line that Cam Newton has ever had in front of him from a talent perspective.
That sounds so good.
And we know what Cam Newton can do if you can give him some time to do it and keep him protected. And so to me, that's the most important thing. And you've heard one thing that we know about the Panthers is they show their hand a little bit. Last year, they said, we want to get weapons for Cam. We want to get weapons for Cam. And then ultimately, first-round pick, that's exactly what they did.
Yep.
This offseason, they've been saying, we're going to shore up that offensive line. And even though they did it in free agency, I think their first look is going to be at Andre Dillard at 16. And then if he comes off the board, I think it's a big drop-off after that.
Yeah, you shore up some of the offensive line, but you also let go of a guy that you were paying, and you're taking a hit in Matt Khalil that you're letting go on the left side. Yeah, Taylor Moton. There's a lot of talk about Taylor Moton could play left tackle if we had to have him play there, obviously. But yeah, I'm with you, Josh. If you can get a starting left tackle, especially a kind of versatile guy in Dillard as well, and you put him, Cam's been battling the shoulder thing last year. And that's just another reason to get him some protection going into this last, 2 years of his contract he has left. If you can't really invest and give him the opportunity to prove himself behind this offensive line with the weapons he's got, you've been building this offense. Marty Hurney drafted this Cam Newton quarterback, and put something behind him. He's got him to playmakers now. Put him in the offensive line in front of him. Like Josh said, you've seen what he can do. Get the man some protection. We've talked about it for as long as Cam's been with Carolina. Now we haven't seen it. I'd love to see it. They've hit the defensive line some in free agency as well. And there's, it's a deep edge rushing class. You can still get some good guys later in the rounds. I would love to have Andre Dillard. I'd love to have Jonah Williams or somebody like that. I would also love Brian Burns. And if Brian Burns falls somehow to 16, I still feel like he might be their pick just because of that, Josh hitting on the versatility that he brings you in the defense that they're trying to go to.
Yeah, and Josh, a name that you didn't mention there is, the Panthers still have Greg Van Roten there too as well.
Yeah.
As depth now, not as a starter, and I think that was a big deal last year, where you're pulling people off the streets to be your starters. Let alone having depth on this line, but besides the starters, I think that's a big deal when it comes to the Darrell Williams signing, right, Josh? Do we still have Josh with us? Josh might be on mute. Josh, are you on mute?
Oh, I was on mute.
Yeah, there we go. I was like, there's no way.
Baby.
There's no way our flawless equipment has failed us. Anyway,
No,
yes.
of course not.
So I was
so
saying, you got the question. Cool.
You're absolutely right. I think that depth is incredibly important, and they actually tried to address the tackle position last year. If you remember, they went out, they got Jeremiah Sirles.
Yep.
They were so the top 3 tackles at the end of training camp had all gone down, and then now your Darrell Williams is coming back from a knee injury, and then they have to take him out and put Taylor Moton in.
Yep.
You sign Chris Clark off the street. Like, this was not their plan. So you need depth, especially at that offensive line position. And what they don't have right now is depth on the outside. They have a guy that played 1 game at left tackle who undoubtedly was fine at left tackle, but he is good at playing right tackle. Then you have a guy who had 2 separate knee injuries last year, who had a major knee surgery, and may not be ready for mini camp, may not be ready for training camp. Those are your only 2 tackles right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not going to
That's
cut
an
it.
issue.
So,
Yeah.
Right.
and you can't find a high caliber tackle later on in the draft as easily as you can find a high caliber edge rusher, a high caliber even defensive tackle,
Yep.
or safety, or corner, or backup running back, or quarterback, or wherever else they need. They don't need it as badly as they need a high-end tackle that can come in and play week 1 against the Rams. And that is the only place to get that is at the 16th pick.
Yeah, and tackles alone, let alone left tackles,
Yeah.
Josh. I mean that cuts it down even more, and that's why I, in my mock draft that is now up on the Riot Report, put out by you last night, Josh. That was a nice, fun
Yes, sir.
article of me, you, Colin, Vince, and Antoine. I think that's everybody.
Antoine was on there.
Anyone. Anyway, awesome write-ups. Very different drafts.
Yep.
Mine's, of course, 100% correct, but you can read the other ones. But no, that's why I went left tackle first, because I think that you can find your edge guy in round 2 and 3. Can you find your starting left tackle in rounds 2 and 3? I don't think so.
And do you want to risk wasting a pick doing so in the
Right.
later rounds? I think like you said, you can find these still, contributing defensive end edge rushers and even interior defensive line, if that's where you wanted to look at some point. You can find those in the later rounds. I don't think you want a chance digging for a left tackle in those later rounds. Maybe in round 2, but this class, no,
Right.
you want to try to grab one of those top guys if you're going there.
Well, Josh,
Can I ask you guys a question? Because I'd be curious to get your take on this.
yeah.
So we are the top 9 picks that happened. It's 9:00 tonight, and I'm Marty Herney, and the Cincinnati Bengals GM, I assume it's Boomer Esiason, calls me and says, "Hey, here's the 11th pick.
It's definitely Boomer,
Andre
by the way.
Dillard is, yeah, exactly. Andre Dillard is still on the board.
Yeah.
We're going to take him, but I'll trade you the 11th pick for the 16th pick in your 3rd round and 77 and next year's 3rd. Are you doing that? Are you doing that trade?"
So you're saying this year's 1st and 3rd and next year's 3rd?
Yeah.
For which pick are they?
11th?
11? That seems too much to move.
They're
up to
11, but
I don't know.
But you're talking about Dillard here. I mean,
Yeah.
you're getting the
But
guy.
Dillard's the only tackle left on the board. So Jonah and Jawan Taylor are already gone.
Okay.
And let's say Cody Ford might be gone too, but I don't think Cody Ford is as highly valuable to me.
And
Dillard is still there. Dillard's the last tackle.
And they got
left.
2 third-round picks this year, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Oof.
That to me, that seems a lot to move up to 11.
Yeah,
But
if you think he might fall to you, that's a tough one. But that's a good scenario, Josh.
We were talking trade-ups with Sheena a minute ago, and I don't know. I'm on the camp of we don't need to do that, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But hey, again, we are at the Tin Roof here on De Montbriand. I'm doing pretty good with
It's
that.
4 in a row. I'm keeping count. Don't worry.
Pronunciation. They have a draft party out here, Josh. It's covered. They're cooking some crawfish outside. It's going to be a big deal here. But let's check in real quickly with what the Roaring Riot's doing. What's going on down at Bank of America Stadium, especially with the Riot Foundation. Today's kind of the first real tailgate where that has existed. I know that might be more of a Zach area, but tell us about the scene down there outside BOA.
Yeah, it's going to be sweet. The Roaring Riot Foundation kicked off earlier this week with providing – the mission is to essentially provide once-in-a-lifetime Panthers-related experiences for Panther fans that are in need, whether in need means someone that is in ill health, has had some tough times in their life, maybe just hasn't been able to afford it. And we want to be able to help those folks out and kind of rally around our community. And so we're going to be matching. The Roaring Riot is going to be matching the first $5,000 donated. You can donate at roaringriotfoundation.org, or you can donate tonight at the first Tailgate with a Purpose. We'll be tailgating before the Bank of America Stadium draft party. The draft party starts at 7, so we'll be going from 5 to about 6:45. We're going to try and get up there a little early so that we can make our presence known when they're going to be doing a feature on the NFL Network. So I think they want us up there to be loud and proud and cheering and getting a little crazy. So
Sweet.
it's going to be going to be super fun. If you've ever been to a Roaring Riot tailgate, if you're watching from Charlotte, we're right across the street from Draft. It's free to any Panther fans, not just Roaring Riot members this year. Any Panther fan, come by, stop by. Noda Brewing is going to be there. Killer Bees food truck, DJ Apollo. It's going to be a fun time.
Dude, Killer Bees
Very
looks
cool.
so good. I saw that post y'all put out earlier. Oh, my God.
Hey, if I wasn't here in Nashville, Josh, you know where I'd be tonight. So
Yes.
anyway, Josh,
And
thanks. Go
If
ahead.
I wasn't here, I would be in Nashville. So.
Exactly. We'll trade there. Anyway, Josh Klein, managing editor for the Riot Report, at Josh Klein Rules on Twitter, at our Riot Report. Go ahead and check out the draft party there. That sounds fun. But we have some more guests to get to, Josh. We'll talk to you after tonight. Maybe I think you can join us tomorrow, right?
Absolutely.
I don't know why I just
will-
made your schedule for you. I'm like, yeah, I think you can do that, right, Josh?
Like he's the managing
Wink,
editor.
yeah.
Yeah,
over here.
right. make sure you call me before my nap.
All
Not
right,
next
man. I'll let you go nap. You have a long night ahead of you in that room. So say hello to everyone down there, and hope have a good night there. No rain in Charlotte, so
Nice.
enjoy the
You
draft,
bet.
Josh.
No rain in Nashville. Good luck.
Hopefully, we'll
Appreciate
talk
it,
to you
man.
tomorrow, Josh. Thanks for calling in, man.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
And that is Josh Klein, managing editor of the Riot Report.
Very
our
interesting
friend.
trade scenario there,
Yes,
man.
very interesting. But hey, we're gonna take a quick break. We got some more guests to get to. We said the girl gang has now
Yes.
infiltrated the tin roof, so we'll have them on. We get T-Bone coming up too, and we're gonna go across the pond, and then we're gonna wrap up day one here at the tin roof. We'll be back here tomorrow, Tripp.
Yes.
1 to 3 p.m. Again, tin roof on Demonbreun. It's up the hill right from the draft. 2-minute Uber ride, car ride, taxi ride, bird ride, but don't fall. Don't be like
Yes.
Will Brinson.
Stitches.
Come hang out with us. We're about 5.5 hours away from the draft, and we're going to take a quick break, but you're listening to Den and Tripp here on the Riot Network.
Live from Nashville, it's Keep Pound Den.
Back here at the Tin Roof, Demonbrian Street.
He's getting hit with it now. He's got it down. So
Now I'm like all confident about it now.
Demonbrian.
Yeah, we are here at Demonbrian Street, though. Honestly, bunch of people around here. We talked about it. Draft Network's over at STK. We got Will Brinson and CBS Crew is over at the Doghouse Saloon right next door. Come hang out with us, man. They're setting up for a big. Let's get some big road cases rolling in now.
Man.
Really doing a
Is
big.
that the band? Is that Tim McGraw?
There might. Yeah, is Tim McGraw playing here? I don't know. But setting up for a big to-do here again. They have the crawfish boil out there. Here at the Tin Roof. Tented screen out there. Tito's trucks out there. Fans are filing in. Still have not seen a Falcons or Saints jersey. There is a Kelvin
not
Benjamin
here yet,
jersey,
no,
though.
yeah,
There is a
right.
Kelvin Benjamin jersey.
Oh, represent.
We are 5.5 hours from the draft. Round one, man. We've been going through all the scenarios. Sheena Quick was just on with us.
Yeah.
Josh Klein just called in from Bank of America, or from outside Bank of America, I should say, about the tailgate and all that. So awesome times. And then the 2 states, 1 draft party.
Yep.
Really, if you're not at one of these today, come on, man. You know, even the Beantown Riot out in Boston, shout out to those guys, are having a nice party today over in Dorchester, Mass. Harrison here hooked us up on the stage. He's
Yes.
the man. Just saying hi to you, bud. He thought we needed him. You're good. Talking about it, Music City Riot here. We got Roaring Riot swag. If you are in the Nashville area, definitely come by, say hello to us, grab some swag. We're going to be here today and tomorrow.
Yeah, really, you know, it's kind of like we hit on, you know, last week before we came down here on this trip is if you've been if you're looking for Panthers draft coverage and just to talk and watch, if you're not finding it on the social media network, I don't know that we can help you anymore. We're all over the place right now.
We
the Riot Report's killing it. The Roaring Riot's killing it.
shout
Den's
out-
killing it.
Shout out, hey man, you're killing it. Shout out to the Tin Roof here. Hey, those koozies are pretty sweet. I like those.
Oh, yeah.
Music City Riot, man. They get a sweet logo. Oh,
Yes,
we'll
they do.
get one. Yeah. No, he. I love the logo, man.
Yeah.
I was putting it on
Musicians.
I get it. A guitar.
Nashville.
You know, I like it. So.
Yeah.
A lot of guitar pick art down here. For me and you, this is huge.
Yes, this
because
is.
all the draft sets they had a 810 cab, and Marshall cabs and like stuff like that. So like,
Well,
if there was an event for me, it's this.
the picture you posted with like guitar picks and NFL logos, it's my life in a nutshell.
Yes,
and I'm sitting here like, oh my god, yeah, it really is. Like these
well,
are two things
I
I care
have
about
like
most.
like every day. I'm surprised I don't have one now. Guitar picks are just falling out of my pockets.
no,
You
don't have
must
one in my coin, but,
Yeah. So anyway, again, the Nashville events, man. Tim McGraw playing tomorrow night. Derek's Bentley Saturday night. Who the heck is it tonight? Moon. What's the name of that band? Why can't I think of them? Kevin Ketching loves them, and so does Josh Klein.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know the band.
Moon
Kevin
Taxi.
loves.
Moon Taxi.
Moon Taxi.
They're playing tonight down in the draft. Hopefully the rain holds out. It's not wet out there yet. I did see an article that said that if it does get severe weather, they could move it inside. That would kind of suck for tonight. But hey, we
Yeah.
get tomorrow too. So,
I brought ponchos, man. I'm ready to go. I'm seeing that 16th pick. It's happening.
dude, I can just see Tripp Morgan out there in a poncho like that Saints.
Oh, dude,
The Saints Panthers clinching game.
I was gonna say, man, I was at that game and
Yeah.
I didn't have anything. I was in sweatpants.
just the thing like poured on your head. Yeah,
I was that guy under the
The
waterfall.
Panthers
with
are
no
now
poncho.
on the clock. You're the only one out there like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'll
thanks
do
for
it.
hopping on with us here on the Riot Report, Panthers Source, my Twitter, our Riot Report YouTube,
Again, everywhere.
CNN.com. No, we're not on CNN. But
Carolina News Network.
Yeah, so we're everywhere today, and we're gonna be there tomorrow as well. Again, meeting up with we got a bunch of guests coming tomorrow as well, talking a little more. Today's a little more of a party atmosphere.
Yep.
Everyone's having fun. I've heard some team chants. It's a fun time today. Tomorrow gets a little more analytical.
You're like, I swear, you're like pulling stuff from my brain right now.
Yeah, that's
It's
that's
crazy.
what this is. You don't.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
Matrix stuff.
Yeah.
I see.
So
I
no,
see.
but tomorrow we have some guests. Again, we're not going to announce them.
Nope.
Just because A, we want you to be surprised, and
Yeah.
also B, things happen in Nashville. So who knows? We'll see if
And things
we
happen
can
with
get
us
them
in
on.
Nashville.
It-
So
they-
it might not be with anybody else.
So we'll make sure that everything is confirmed. But gonna be a fun day tomorrow as well, especially because like I was saying today, it's you come in here, we prepare all this stuff. We know what we're gonna get, but tomorrow it's gonna be a lot of gut reaction.
So
it's gonna be, why did this happen?
Yep.
Why did
start molding things
exactly.
with the team and
who
going
can
forward.
you get with
Yeah.
these next 3 picks on one day? A lot more trades start happening. Teams taking positions you didn't think they'd take in the first round. Where do they go in the second round? So tomorrow's going to be a lot of fun. Just a lot of unexpected conversations, really.
Yep.
But today we do have our friends coming on here. That was fun with Sheena with our.
She got Cam right, man. She got the one like.
She did get Cam right.
Current Panther.
I got really worried when she put Mariota as the fastest. I mean, I don't know.
What? I can't remember what his
You guys-
40 was.
but the
which
thing
one?
is though, I feel like running backs now,
Mm-hmm.
and this is just really weird that I don't even really know why I thought of this, but I feel like running backs now are just way faster than the Barry Sanders. Even though they probably were just as fast. I mean,
Yeah.
human beings are human beings. I know there's different workouts, and obviously it's a lot easier to get stronger in a gym now than it was maybe 20 years ago. But
Right.
but even receivers today just beating Barry Sanders 40. So it's like the game does evolve, the game does change. He's still, over time, the only running back in that group that we put
Right.
up was the fastest.
I feel like the more the
But
sport.
Mariota too, though.
Yeah, I mean, the more the sport grows, people are, you're starting younger in your life, training for these kind of things. Football becomes your life. You want to make it in the NFL. And not to say that any of those guys in the past didn't do that, but just saying, like, the more widespread it gets, I feel like that plays a big part into it. And like you said, technology's coming around a lot more than it was back then. It's easier to train in certain gyms. They got more, like technology. I don't know any of these, like, top fitness names or anything,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's a lot easier to do that. But then I was going to say something. We had Josh on. We didn't ask him about the Jonathan Stewart thing with his day yesterday. We should have, because he was right there with it, posting the clips, great clips, emotional day. We kind of hit on a little precursor that he kind of dropped in that we didn't really talk about it, but we mentioned he had a precursor with Steve Smith.
Yep.
And saying, I'm really excited about all the attention you're about to get, and I look forward to being a part of it. And it sent a lot of Panthers fans, obviously us as well, really, as Josh put it, giddy. Really happy, because this is something we've been talking about since he was ousted kind of with Dave Gettleman. He had the bad blood there. But the bridges have been really repaired in that relationship with David Tepper and Marty Herney, obviously, because he was there then. But what are you thinking? I mean, you see a Ring of Honor coming from him. Jay Stu has to go in there as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Ring of Honor is, rumored or
Right.
is coming, however you want to look at it. And that was my question a few weeks ago. Is there going to be one guy that goes up first? Is
Yep.
there going to be a group of guys? Maybe they do 3 guys. We're going to start it. Because it's kind of awkward to put up a Ring of Honor and be like, and here's our 1 number. He's
Yep.
the only one.
Yeah,
And then there's tons of Panthers. I mean, Jordan Gross. You can go down the list. That TD, who
Yeah.
isn't retired yet, but you know what I'm saying. Who, you're going to put up just one guy,
Yeah.
or are you going to put up a few?
Gotta
I
put
don't-
up a few,
I
right?
think it might be a collection of.
And they
like,
talked about putting it around the stadium.
I think it could be a collection of 2 or 3 guys,
Yeah.
and I think that Steve's definitely in there. I don't think that Steve goes up alone.
No.
Is that weird?
No, not at all. I agree with you. I think you have to bring like a couple of guys, especially now with Stewart retiring. You just did this whole ceremony thing.
Yep.
But what's even more interesting to me is week 1, he's already, it's essentially going to happen. Something's happening with Steve Smith's going to get some attention, as Jonathan Stewart put it. So something's already in the works. Week 1, Carolina Panthers open against the Rams, right, at home.
You brought up. Yep, I know where you're going with this.
So X-Clown is like the most infamous play in Panthers franchise history. I think all fans voted for that, and I think they all agree that the touchdown he had in a double overtime game in the playoffs and the wild card to beat the greatest show on turf was a great play. It came against the Rams. Maybe it's a possibility that Steve Smith, this happens week 1, halftime, pregame. Now I'm over here like I already wanted to get to this game, right? Now I have to
I mean, do
pretty
you think
much
it'll be-
invest.
I mean, I guess a Ring of Honor, it doesn't really take a ton of like construction.
Yeah, and I don't think,
It's a couple letters.
I guess it doesn't have to be like the full ceremony, but it could be him coming out, them giving him something at halftime, something of that nature.
I mean, the Patriots do that all the time.
Yeah.
It's weird. A lot of teams do. I shouldn't say it's just the Patriots, but
Right.
I mean, it almost seems like every Patriots game there's some sort of, or at least once a year, there's
Yeah.
some sort of big ceremony like that. Ty Law, whoever, Teddy Bruschi. You
Yeah.
can go down the list for them. Carolina, as young as they are, have enough people to do that every year, and it seems like Dave Tepper was again. What layup is Dave Tepper making this
Yeah.
week? It's to put the Ring of Honor up. So Yeah, to answer that question, I think Steve goes up. I don't think he goes alone, though.
No, I would agree. It's just, I think, like you said, Jonathan Stewart has been. Jordan Gross is somebody that doesn't really get talked about a lot, but I think he is definitely one that should be up there. Obviously, TD's still playing, so we won't talk about him right now, but he's a shoe-in.
Interested to see how TD does this year, by the way.
I'm pulling for him, man.
I don't think he'll do bad. I don't think he'll.
They need the linebackers. Chargers need the linebackers.
I think he'll just be a pretty above-average player.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be a guy that says like he needs to be on the Panthers or he can't succeed anywhere else.
It was time.
Yeah, it was time.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's fine.
Like I think the words I used was it was the right football move.
Right.
It was a heartbreaking move, but it was the right football move. But it does leave that hole that we talked about at the beginning of the show with Jermaine Carter over there.
Yeah.
I like him. I've started to put him in Madden, which might be why I'm getting beat now.
Did they have the 3-4 worked in yet?
No.
Get up there.
I actually use the 3-4. Yeah, and
okay.
I use Peppers as a linebacker.
Oh, nice.
So,
yeah, I always like to audible and drop him into coverage here and there. People like to drop into the flat, little dump off passes. I'll drop Peppers over there, man. He'll pick six, just like real life.
Yeah,
it's no problem.
So, anyway, again here at the Tin Roof on Demombrian. I keep thinking it's raining because there's a place across the street. I think it's like a car wash or a garage or something.
It's definitely a garage.
Yeah, and it has like a very shiny floor.
It does.
And I'm like, oh, damn, it's raining out. Nope, it's not. It's just that weird floor.
Oh, and big shout out last night. Well, the Bruins advanced. So
They did. Yeah, we can talk Canes.
Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a shout out for Chris here because obviously the Sin bin not up here, but Carolina Hurricanes clinching huge. Funny story. I was telling Den this earlier. If you follow me on Twitter, we went to the airport early. They didn't put the game on. Then they put it on. We landed in Baltimore in our connecting flight. Was watching it. Watched the end. It went into overtime. About missed my connecting flight. Got on the plane to hear. I already had a Hulu free trial lined up.
I fell asleep, dude. Because the bad part about me is I'm like, I'm going to save money and fly in on Thursday. And then, like, Den on Thursday is like, I hate you, Dennis, who made me do this. I call myself Dennis. That's how you know I'm in trouble. That I don't know why I do it every year. I'm like, 4 a.m., time to go to the draft, like sitting on a train. I've done it for the last 3 years. And so I literally got to the point where I was like, if I don't go to bed, tomorrow's going to be a bad day.
Can't miss a flight,
I
man.
missed the goal, but I saw their highlights. So McGinn, dude, not only saved the game, won the game.
Yes,
that was huge.
yes.
I mean, that guy, that's a big play.
Yeah, Game 7 on the line, away, huge.
We'll talk about all that and more. We got T-Bone coming on with us from
Yes.
WFNZ. We're gonna have some good time. We'll talk about some Canes. We'll talk about some MTV shows that we like. Maybe you might be left out of this one.
Man,
but
MTV left me a long time ago. It's not music television anymore. But there were some shows. The earlier reality shows I was down with.
All right, we're going to get T-Bone on the line. We're going to take a quick break, and that'll be fun. We'll see what's going on with the FNZ guys when we come back.
Talk about their 40 times.
You're listening to Den and Tripp here on the Riot Network.
It's Keep Pound Den.
What up, what up? Back here at the Tin Roof on Demombrian. I'm going to say that every time.
Demombrian.
Make sure you do come to the Demombrian Tin Roof location. They're doing it big here today, guys. They have a crawfish broil? Big stage outside, big tent. Tito's vodka trucks out there. Everyone likes that one. So
Yeah.
And we are, of course, live here on the stage. Come hang out with us for the next hour or so.
Some really good prices, too.
Yeah, not bad.
Drink prices are really good.
But, hey, on the phone with us now, you know him from WFNZ. We're going to talk to him about some questionable decisions he made yesterday at their live event. But Travis T-Bone Hancock joining us on the line right now, hopefully. You there, Travis?
Yeah, I'm here. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining on. We're doing good, man. The scene is starting to get bumping here in Nashville. You know, we got here early to set up, and we were kind of worried that, you know, Nashville was kind of dead. But then we realized that people actually have to go to work.
Yeah.
And they're not just here to party like me and Tripp are. So the scene is.
If you think it's bumping, in Nashville. You should see Mooresville, North Carolina right now. And you talk about, oh my goodness, it is just. I don't even want to tell you what I'm involved in right now. I've got my Pringles right now, right? I've got some Little People, Big World on the DVR.
There you
and
go.
It is going off, as the kids say.
I hit that up on the flight here, so I know what you mean, Travis. I tweeted you that, I believe. So.
I know, very emotional episode, by the way. I need to point that out.
That was a tough one to sit through. But, hey, man, we are here in Nashville again. So tell us what's going on while we're here at our party. What's going on down at the stadium with you guys in FNZ? We know what the Roaring Riot's doing. They're outside. They're outside the stadium doing the tailgate. Riot Foundation donations are going first day of those today, by the way. But I know that I think Nick and is it Mac or is it Kyle are outside there as well, right?
It's Mac and our host Chris McLean of the Mac Attack, 6 to 10 a.m., and Nick Wilson, midday host, 10 to 2.
Nice.
They're hosting a show tonight at the Valentine Hickory Tavern, 3-hour show. So they're doing basically the whole draft. They'll analyze it all. That's at, again, the Valentine Hickory Tavern. We had our big draft pre-party last night at Topgolf, which Topgolf off the charts.
Yeah. I love Topgolf, by the way, which you just reminded me there's a great Topgolf here in Nashville.
Yeah, so we passed that on the way. I was like, you know, Den can get a hole-in-one there. So that's good.
Yeah,
I'm not sure we're allowed back ever again at Topgolf.
Yeah, y'all might not be.
Yeah, I was just going to say, T-Bone.
I mean, Roman Harper was there, who's a tremendous guy, and so was Trey Boston. They were on the panel, and something happened last night where afterwards Roman Harper came up to me and said, man, I've been in colleges, I've been in the pros, T-Bone, I've never seen that before.
Dude.
And he goes, and I'm not sure I ever want to see it again. I said, all right, Roman, I'll talk to you later.
Dude,
nice meeting.
I had all the plans to talk about, double shot of love with you. I never thought we'd be talking about this double shot because, dude, not only did you do that once, you did it twice, T-Bone. Now in your form, the way that you go about that and you kind of motorboat it, is that something that you improvised or is that something that you were taught?
No, that was completely by design. I wasn't really going to go deep into for those that are wondering, I lost a bet on Duke Virginia Tech NCAA tournament. Virginia Tech didn't cover the spread, so me and host Josh Parcell, the midday show, Virginia Tech grad, I said, all right, loser's got to take a body shot off a hacksaw. Hacksaw wasn't involved in the bet. He just happened to be standing there, and he goes, okay, hacksaw's in. So I thought Duke would at least cover the 5. I got it down. I got the 5 on the spread with him. I said, okay, well, Duke's going to cover. Duke wins by, that crazy. They win by 2 or whatever it was. So I got to do this body shot off this 350-pound blubber of a man who looks like he just came straight from a NASCAR race all the time.
With snorkeling scuba goggles on, by the way, which
I came with the game plan. I had I brought goggles. You can see the video. It's probably on TMZ by now. You got goggles. I had my Duke gloves on. I had Febreze because I didn't know what I was getting into. And I brought this giant pool noodle thing because I thought I could use this for a straw. You just pour it down, and I could stand like they outlawed that right away. So my whole plan was just smack my face on his stomach. Right? I'm not going to do too much, but so
very nice.
Yep. That's where my career's at right now. That is I've had a lot of low points in my career. We may have finally just reached the apps. I've retired now from betting, by the way. That's it. I'm done. That was so embarrassing.
Yeah,
I'm done betting. There's no more.
That'll probably keep you away from it. But hey, no, I did want to bring up. Me and you have. I thought I was the only person in the world that watched Double Shot at Love with Pauly D and Vinny. Tripp here is just shaking his head at me when I asked him. Now
Tripp can go away now. Tripp, go away now, please. Thank you.
I'm intrigued.
But now that we're in the early stages of that, it's almost like a draft there. Who's your number one pick right now to win this thing? Because
first of all,
there's a lot of crazy people.
This show is the Guido Bachelor, is what this is.
It's great.
And it's tremendous entertainment. They don't give roses away. They send them away in cabs.
The cab.
Which Pauly D says, Ashley, unfortunately, you get the cab is here. They get emotional. They roll out. The one that's not going to win is the crazy one that didn't have her undergarments on the dance floor. No, she left last week, right? No, she's gone. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm sorry, she left the house on her own. So more times than not, Denn and Tripp, they leave the house on their own also. Like, they're just gone.
Yeah, that first girl night
the
one, couldn't handle it.
I don't have a feel for the favorite yet here. I know that Pauly D on the previews kisses someone tonight, and I'm looking forward to that. Although it's gonna happen at the same time as the Panthers draft pick, so that's gonna create a problem.
Yeah,
so,
we'll have to
it's a tremendous show. MTV Thursdays 9:00. Vinny and Pauly both picking out a woman for each. It's just, I could talk about this show like I'm Mel Kiper Jr. Basically.
Well, T-Bone, Den was telling me a little bit about it earlier, and I can already tell you already like it better than The Bachelor and Bachelorette because I did not like the real Bachelor and Bachelorettes at all. So this one sounds much more entertaining. I might have to check it out. I clocked out of MTV like a few years back when they got completely away from music, it seemed.
Right.
So, but I might have to give this a try just for y'all too.
Here's why it gets interesting, Dan, because when they show the season-long previews, the other Jersey Shore cast members come to the house at some point.
Okay.
Like Ronnie comes in and tries to help them out. Of all people, Ronnie the Rhino, Ron Jr.
Wow.
He comes in and
Sammy
he
around
tries
still?
to No, she's getting married on her own.
Oof.
But Ronnie comes in, and I think Ronnie may fall for a woman in the show. So that's coming up soon. So we'll find out there.
We're actually infiltrated by the girl gang here. We have T-Bone on the line with us right now. And
we're getting shouts out.
Yeah, fireball shots are going to be flying down the streets in a minute. But
bodies.
Usually that's when I go away is when the fireball starts flowing.
But hey, they actually can't hear me that well. But this is good because we'll be talking to them in a minute up here on the stage as well. But you are on their team for the Saturday, June 1st, Keep Pounding 5K in Charlotte, right?
Yes. I actually lost my aunt to cancer on Monday, so it's got special meaning this year. Yeah,
it's brutal, man. I'm sorry to hear about that again.
It means a lot, and I'm proud to partner with the Girl Gang beginning of June. And if you go to Active on WFNZ, there's a donation page at the top. So certainly, it means a lot. They raised a lot of money last year when I was part of it, trying to do it again. And I think they're almost ahead of their goal already. But are you ever really ahead of the goal with cancer? No, of course
Never,
not.
no.
So.
Nope. And
raise as much as possible, right?
Yeah,
ugly thing.
100% of those proceeds raised do go to the benefit pediatric and adult cancer research, treatment, and patient services for Levine Cancer and Levine Children's Hospital, which is a big thing for Greg Olson. That's a big thing with me. Greg Olson's son, TJ, actually a lot worse than what I had, but I had a similar heart surgery here in Boston at Children's. So Greg Olson, a big part of why I'm a Panthers fan, actually. So I love seeing stuff help out that institute as well. But and again, now that you're on the line, I'm going to tell them the same thing. We actually have a $300 check today going from the Riot Report to your group there, to your team, from us to you guys. So keep pounding out there.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you, man.
And we'll put that up later. But hey, let's talk about draft real quick, Travis. Man, who's your
Oh yeah, I forgot about the draft.
The draft is tonight. Yeah.
Got talking about body shots and Guido Bachelor. Bachelor shot.
So we got a few minutes here. Hey, we got what's your best case scenario, worst case scenario, and what do you think is the likely scenario that actually does happen tonight in round one?
Well, I'll give you guys first of all some inside information that we've been hearing over the last week or so that we sort of said on the air, but as we get closer, I think it's okay to say it more. Heard that now it changed today. I don't know if you guys saw it, but now they're saying Montez Sweat had a misdiagnosis at the combine.
Oh.
So now they're saying he's okay. Is that a a desperate plea by the camp of Montez Sweat? I don't know. But now I've heard that the Panthers don't like Sweat and Farrell in the first round. To the point where I'm not sure Sweat's even on the board, because 10 teams have taken him off the board. I wouldn't be surprised. Even at 16, I don't think the Panthers would take Sweat.
Well,
that's
a similar situation to what happened with Starr, right? When he had to come up with a heart thing, they still go with
but
him.
his was a
little different.
Yeah, they pinned his to like a virus or something that he had at the time. But yeah, it's very similar, and he ended up falling because of that. It was said, and it actually worked out great for Carolina, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But
I heard they do like Burns. They do like Burns and Dillard. Mm-hmm. And the thing about Dillard Andre Dillard that we talked about today is think about what he does for the entire offensive line. If you get Dillard at left tackle and he's good, then you move Bowden back to his natural spot.
Yep.
All of a sudden you've got Dillard, you've got Trey Turner, you've got Paradis, you've got Darrell Williams, you've got an offensive line that's light years ahead of where it's been lately.
Sounds
and it seems
so
like
good.
An offensive line with continuity where you're not shuffling guys in and out. So I think a left tackle should be in the first round. Mm-hmm. Another name that I heard yesterday that may surprise you guys is a name that we're not talking about. And I've heard from a couple places now. Greg Little, the offensive lineman for Ole Miss.
Yep. That was a big Billy Marshall pick early.
Yep.
So
I don't know if they would take him at 16, but there was also some scuttlebutt today that they would move down with Houston into the 20s. So it would make more sense to me if they wanted Greg Little. No one's going to take him in the team. But would they take Greg Little somewhere in the 20s?
Yeah.
That, to me, could be a possibility because it seems like that it's very up in the air. Our draft analyst, Josh Norris, was on today. Josh Norris?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
He's my former intern.
Okay.
So he made it big without me. So, but he brought up 6 names on the air today that are possibilities. And he then told me afterwards he got a text right away that said it's not one of the 6 guys he brought up. And it was the 6. It was like the 6 regular guys.
Dillard, Burns,
so I'm really
Sweat.
So I'm really thinking that this Greg Little thing may have to like.
Well, it's funny you say that about the Texans. Right before we brought you on, T-Bone, I was actually reading where I think it was Schefter had reported that the Texans are heavily involved in looking, to move up in the draft. And Greg Little is that you bring him up. He's actually somebody we talked about on the show that Carolina has shown more interest in him as an offensive lineman with visits. Meetings, combines, the Senior Bowl games or whatever. They've had more visits with him than they have any other offensive lineman in this draft. So the interest is strong there. If they think they can trade back and get him and pick up more picks, that would be another best-case scenario for Carolina.
Sweet.
It's almost like when you look back in hindsight, it got too quiet on Greg Little, right?
Yep, exactly.
That's what happens sometimes. All of a sudden you go, wait, they weren't talking about Greg. Oh, that's why they weren't. That's why he wasn't coming up.
Welcome to the combine.
The other thing that I'm hearing, and if it's coming from it's coming from a person I think that we can trust, and I can't obviously say that, but this whole quarterback situation with Cam.
Right.
Tepper's not happy with the backup quarterback situation. He said, "Don't let it happen again," or whatever. I don't know why they didn't go. I don't know why they didn't get a veteran in the offseason, but that's where this push is coming from, and also. There's still concern about Cam's shoulder.
Yeah, so
it's not all hunky dory. There's some stuff going on there. Yeah, and that's why if Cam was healthy, they wouldn't be pushing for a quarterback possibly as high as round number 2.
And that's what we've been saying.
Yeah, and I think I think you're right about that coming down from Tepper. I mean. I think as an owner, you got to say, I don't want to be the owner that has my quarterback go down and that be the season that kill my sales and keep competing, right? I think that's a very realistic thing to think that comes down from Tepper. Although I don't really.
And one thing about Will Grier that I was saying today was don't forget Will Grier's not young.
Yeah.
Will Grier's 24 years old.
Right.
So the interest in him as a quarterback may also be, hey, he'll be your rookie, but. He's a 24-year-old rookie. He's not a 20 or 21-year-old kid. This guy could maybe come in here quicker than some of these guys. You know what I mean? They may view him as more of an advanced rookie. Not that he's all-world, but that could be why they look at it. Now, the other problem, guys, with Will Grier, from my point of view, is how would the fans – we know there's a lot of Cam doubters in the city, right? We don't like them, but there's a lot of Cam doubters. If you bring in the hometown kid from Charlotte as the – people love the backup quarterback anyway, right?
Right.
So you bring in Will Greer and Cam throws 3 picks in a game. What's going to happen? The Camp downers are
Charlotte's
going to
explode.
I think pre-Tepper, I think that's something the Panthers organization wants to avoid is pushing Cam out of here and giving him a hard time, or the thought of the Panthers without Cam Newton is scary, definitely to some people in the organization, no matter who they are, So that's a good point, and it is smokescreen day though, so a lot of that smoke will clear today if even the Patriots talking about Will Greer. Kyler Murray might not even be the number 1 pick. So all that stuff's going to kind of answer itself today, and we'll see. So.
And it's one thing, that was just one of the things we kept talking about was if they're making this push, and you brought it up, you kind of hit on it, T-Bone, if they're making this push for a QB so early, something's not going – I mean, they're not as confident as it's being pushed with Cam's shoulder that we're seeing outside of things. I mean, it just can't be because you're not – I get you want to have a good backup quarterback, but we saw – Den brought it up earlier. You saw what happened behind that offensive line with backup quarterbacks. The guys are getting drilled and injured. It's not going to make a difference anyway. Yeah. But it's also
what I'm hearing is it's something that may be here for the rest of the time. Like it may not be something that just goes away. The shoulder thing. It might be a thing that comes up
lingers
often. And that
with the wrong
but
hit
also,
or
guys,
the
you know
wrong
what?
fall,
We don't.
Yeah.
Guys, we know how polarizing Cam can be to everybody.
Right.
And I was asking Mac the other day, like we don't know for sure at all what Tepper thinks of Cam.
Yeah.
Like he can say the right things. Like that's my guy. We have no look, man. He bought a team. We have no idea.
Yeah.
He may love Cam. He may think he's the greatest thing ever. But we don't know for sure, do we?
No.
Like in terms of his contract coming up, he may look at it and go, "I'm gonna, no."
Yeah.
And if he says no, what are you gonna do? You know, like,
especially
if the shoulder,
year one,
the shoulder's not good, that brings up the contract situation in a couple of years. That's going to be fascinating to watch.
And that being his first experience, it's not like Tepper was here and saw Cam have an MVP season and was like, you know what, I know this isn't him.
Right.
Tepper has those questions. Where is this?
He's not attached to Cam like everybody else in the organization is, and that's fine. But I'm not. If Cam's shoulder is having issues, I'm not. For long term in the future, I'm not opposed to moving on. And I've said this before, like. There's a point where you have to draw a line regardless of how much you like somebody. We just hit on it with Thomas Davis. Yeah. That was the right football move. Yeah. If Cam's shoulder he can't continuously throw the ball downfield, it's affecting wins in Carolina, you have to move on and accept that. It sucks. We'd love for him to be great and have a long career here, a healthy career. But if that's something that's going on, you have to accept the fact that you have to bring somebody in behind them. But I also don't think the narrative that's been pushed since the Eagles won the Super Bowl with Nick Foles that – you can have a backup QB that can take you to the Super Bowl and win it. I don't think that's fair either. That's not something you're going to come across every day. But you have to be prepared.
You can't compare yourself to
exactly.
that. Yeah.
But like we said before,
the other thing,
they know things going on in that locker room that we don't.
The other thing about the injuries, we're just looking at it. We're looking at it as Cam's shoulder with the backup quarterback situation. I mean, Cam can go sprain an ankle too. I mean, at some point, like Heineke or Allen may play. It might not even be shoulder related. Right. So, you might want to upgrade that not just based off the shoulder, but just in general. Cam's a running quarterback. He could get rolled up on and be out for 3 weeks. Yeah. Do we want Heineke or Allen for 3 weeks? No, I'd rather. I'm not dealing. I'm like Tepper. I don't want that anymore.
Right.
I hear you. Anyway, T-Bone, thanks for staying on with us. Sorry we kept you too long. I know you need to get some rest after that crazy. That crazy night you had of you can go watch the videos.
Is my cab here?
I think your cab's here, T-Bone.
I'm out. I'm done.
Maybe it'll bring you to Nashville though.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
If it's bringing you here, come hang out at the Tin Roof on Demumbrian. And you like how he did that?
Yes, he did. Nice transition.
Yeah, I think they're cooking out there now.
Little inside. Be careful with the girl gang. They've been thrown out of many bars.
I'm nervous.
They get in many scuffles. They throw beer bottles, especially Joan, who basically is the leader of the.
Yeah,
I'm just telling you right now. Yep. She's like.
Joan is
like
contemplating something right
Roadhouse.
now. Yeah.
Yeah, she'll throw a punch on anybody. So I'm just telling you right now. I'm going to go check Twitter. And if I see her throwing punches on the live feed, I know what's going on.
There you go. Travis T-Bone Hancock. T-Bone _ WFNZ? Or T-Bone WFNZ?
No, just T-Bone.
There you go.
Yeah, T-Bone W. Thank you for knowing me. I appreciate it a lot.
Yes. So I forgot my notes today. We have everything working great. iPads in the hotel room. So here I am, off the top of my head. Anyway, T-Bone, WFNZ. Follow him for some hot takes on Double Shot at Love.
And thank you for the check, man, for the team, for sure, man.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be putting that up, and glad you guys are running that for us. So we'll talk to you
guys,
soon.
Be safe out there.
All right, man.
Appreciate it, dude.
Talk to you later, T-Bone.
All right, man. I'm sure. All right,
bye. And that is Travis Hancock.
Fun,
joining us
fun.
from Charlotte.
That was a good discussion.
Yeah, very
on
good.
The quarterback situation.
Fun
There's
guy.
some good insights.
It was going so well,
Yeah.
and then I Munson his Twitter name. So
you got
wow.
the Monbrian right.
Yeah, I'm getting the Monbrian right. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break, but then we get to go across the pond trip. We're going to talk to our friends over in the Royal Riot, see what they're doing on night 1 of the draft. It's like really late over there, I think.
Say, I can't imagine what time it is.
So it's 8 o'clock-ish now. So.
I'll leave the time zone stuff to you since you know it so well.
Dude, it's like you know that meme of like the gif of the guy doing the thing.
Zach Galifianakis.
That's who that is.
Yes,
that guy. Yeah, that was me today. So anyway, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll come back. We're gonna go across the pond again to London, talk to the Royal Riot. You're listening to Tripp and Den here on the Riot Network.
Live from Nashville, it's Keep PounDENN.
Back here at the Tin Roof with Tripp Morgan at Panthers Source. I'm Den at Keep PounDENN. This has been a really fun day, Tripp. Well, a lot of good guests coming in and out. A lot of people coming in with their Panther stuff on.
Yes.
I've seen multiple Kelvin Benjamin jerseys.
Weird.
I've saw a draft hat in the wild.
We have seen one.
It's all happening.
Fresh out of Myrtle Beach.
Yeah. But now, like I said, we're going to go across the pond here. We have our buddy Oliver from the Royal Riot joining us to kind of talk about what's going on, not only on draft night, but also with the trip this year over to London. And I'm just going to hope that he's there and our Skype works. Ollie, you over there, buddy?
Good evening. How you doing?
There he is. Great. You sound fantastic.
He does.
Best call quality so far here. Thank you to our friends at Skype. Ollie is over in London, part of the Royal Riot, a little later than it is here, of course. Ollie, what's it like in London on night one? We know what it's like here in Nashville. Not only just for the Panthers, but NFL-wise, how's it going over there tonight?
Yeah, it's pretty low key on draft night, to be completely honest, because it starts at 1 a.m.
That's crazy.
Which if it's Monday night or Thursday night, something like football, people can kind of get up for that, and the hardcore will do that. We actually had a watch party for the primetime game last year against the Steelers, which we'll not talk about.
So
tough one.
So I went to Denmark and watched football. I think that's the same time zone, right? Is it like 7 p.m.?
It's similar, or maybe 1 hour difference. Yeah.
Okay,
because we're on British summer time at the moment. We're not on GMT,
so
it's kind of.
I just made a joke with Tripp about me doing that Zach Galifianakis gif where he's doing the equations. Me trying to figure out time zones. What time does a primetime game start over in London?
So it depends on if we're on GMT or British summertime, because we have the daylight saving.
Oh, jeez. Now there's more equations.
Yeah.
Just about
it's
that.
For us as well. But yeah, like 1:15 in the morning is pretty standard.
That's dedication. Right there.
It is, man.
Well, we've only got one this year, so it's not
that is good. Yeah. And one primetime game that does come week 2 against the Bucks, but also against the Bucks, I think. And the reason we have you on the phone here is, Panthers, of course, going to London week 6, I believe it is, October 13th. Games at that new Tottenham Stadium. I know that was kind of up in the air. I believe Sarah is a Tottenham fan.
She is.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but you're not a Tottenham fan.
God no, no, I'm not.
Have you been to the new?
He felt offended.
I just got to check. Have you been to the new stadium?
I haven't, but Sarah has.
Okay. Because I know nothing about soccer besides that there's like a guy named Will Griggs and he's always on fire. That's about as far as my football knowledge goes. My brother is a huge Tottenham fan though. So
I heard you talk about Will Greer earlier, the quarterback. So I thought it sounded a little bit like Will Griggs.
Oh, there you go. Okay. But honestly, how awesome is it? You guys have this Royal Riot over there. You have a place to go watch the Panthers. But, how awesome is it not only to have the NFL going to London, but it finally being your team? You don't have to travel here to the U.S., in New Orleans and see kind of that scrimmage that we were at.
Yeah.
But, you get to see a real Week 6 game in your own country, on your own turf. That must be so exciting for you guys when it's your team.
Yeah, we just can't wait. The Panthers were down to the last 3 teams yet to have come to London. So we left it pretty late, but we couldn't have been happier when it was announced. We were a bit doom and gloom about it when some of the fixtures were kind of locked down, because there's certain rules around who plays in London. If you don't have a home, for example, you have to give up a home game. So that puts the Chargers and the Rams over here straight away. Yeah. The Jags obviously do. If you have a Super Bowl within a certain number of years, you have to give up a home game as well. So it basically came down to.
I didn't either.
You're teaching me things, Ollie. I like this.
There's quite a few rules because a lot of teams don't want to give them up, so they kind of have to force people. It's kind of like the Hard Knocks rules. You've got to force people to do it somehow.
You got to suck, right?
But it basically came down to, because of the the teams that were announced. Then when Tampa got announced, it was a case of, oh wow, it has to be a divisional game then. If it's us, because we weren't playing any of the other teams.
Right.
And how much sweeter for y'all is it that it is a division game? I mean, that's at least it's not like you're coming over here and you're just playing. This could be a potentially big game with it being division. I mean, that's even better. You get to see that.
Yeah.
It's great. I mean, mine and Sarah's personal attendance and winning record against divisional opponents isn't great.
Right.
To be completely honest.
Yeah.
The New Orleans Week 17 last year was our first divisional win we've seen. But sort of non-divisional games with 2-0.
And not a popular one around Panther Nation here. But yeah, I'm going to London. Ollie, I'll see you over there. I'm pumped. I've never been to London. So not only was my first experience going over there, it's going to be going to see the Panthers. So I'm just super stoked. Roaring Riot has an awesome trip planned, but what are some things that might not be on the trip itself that you're excited for, like someone like me, a Panthers fan that's never been to London, to kind of come do in that short weekend? Like, what are some awesome things that you're excited to show people? Because, for example, when the Panthers came to Boston, to Foxborough, I'm like, dude, with me and Zach, I'm going to show them this place and this place. I got to show them all these things. Like, you must have, like, cool things like that, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the things that I think a lot of people who come over here for the first time are going to notice about London is that, we're an old city. I think we're coming up for, 2,000 year anniversary of London in about 30 years' time. It's a seriously old city. So what you've got is this amazing mix of the architecture, the old architecture that dates hundreds of years. You've got the skyscrapers standing up alongside it, which is you don't see many cities like that.
Right.
You've got New York with the skyscrapers, and you've got some old sort of sorry, it is 2,000 years old, not 1,000. I'm losing my mind. But yeah, you've got old architecture, you've got new architecture, and it's all mixed in together. And I think that's what a lot of people are going to see as being so very different to what you're probably used to in the States. And a lot of European cities as well, because we're really investing a lot in some of the modern architecture over here. So you've got this lovely mix, and I think that's what people are going to notice.
Yeah, totally. And I think Boston has a little bit of that as well. Whereas, like, we have the old cobblestone and the crazy Faneuil Hall area, and then you got the new buildings. So I like that, Ollie. I know what you're talking about when you say that. So I had the pleasure of hanging out with Ollie in New Orleans.
Nice.
We went to the casino together, and I kind of got lost, Ollie, and I just went home. I never really said bye. I never really said bye to you. I totally Irish exited from not only the casino but New Orleans, the city. So,
it was a blessing then.
Yeah,
I didn't want you to see how much money I was losing. So
not always a bad thing.
Yeah. So bye, by the way. I meant to tell you that. But yeah. But hey, what's the bar that you guys hang out at and watch the Panthers games at?
So we watch at the Hippodrome Casino.
Yes.
Which is in Leicester Square, which is kind of one of the main areas where a lot of the festivities for London Calling is going to be centered around that sort of area. It's in an area called the West End of London.
Yeah.
A lot of the people who are coming over for London Calling are going to see Leicester Square. No doubt some of them are going to end up in the casino. And yeah, that's where we have our watch parties every week.
That's awesome.
And while we're talking about Tampa, we will be having a week 2 watch party for prime time. So any fans listening who fancy getting to a casino at 1 o'clock on a Tuesday morning, please come and join us.
I'll see you there.
Hopefully this Thursday night game will go a lot better than the last.
Well, I don't know who in the NFL scheduling hates the Bucs or what they did to that scheduling department. The Bucs scheduled, I believe they don't play a home game for over a month.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
And then they don't play a normal game against the Panthers. They play Thursday Night Football.
Both away, technically.
Week 2, which is not only Thursday Night Football being weird, but right off the bat you got a short week, immediately. And then a couple weeks later they go and play them over in London. As much as you want to call that a normal game, it is a unique game. I mean, the travel isn't that crazy, but it's kind of the spectacle of playing in a way different looking, I would think, stadium than you're used to. The fans are completely different.
They're going to be all Panthers.
Ollie, you guys like basically sing to each other for like 4 hours. It's incredible. And you guys have that it's Will Griggs, right? Or Will Grigg?
That was the original, yeah.
Yeah. So you have that song about Newton. Whose original idea was that? You can say it was yours, even if it wasn't.
Oh, what? So the actual original song was the Northern Irish.
No. I mean, who made up the Panther version?
Oh, that was me. Come on. I'm gonna for that.
I love it, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. It's going to be a really good time. Definitely a, I don't want to say once in a lifetime. It could be a once in a lifetime experience to see the Panthers play over there. I would assume
it isn't.
over time that they would play there again, but I would imagine it wouldn't be for a long time. I mean, you never know, though. I know that some teams have played there pretty often, and I think that when they see. I think that when they see what we bring over there, that might think a little different.
Yeah. I think we brought in Tom Glick, who was at Manchester City previously as their CRO, and one of the things that he did there was turn City into a global brand because, frankly, no one had heard of them previously. And I think the fact that he's looking to bring the Panthers over to London so quickly is indicative of the direction that he's heading.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be at all surprised if in the next few years we're over here again, or in Mexico, or any other market the NFL looks to go in. I think that's heading now. I think they want to utilize someone like Cam as a franchise quarterback and get them some more international fans, more international following. Because frankly, the Panthers have fallen behind because they're one of the few teams yet to play over here.
Yeah. And coming here, I was talking to the Uber driver. They were saying that some teams just take over the city.
Yeah.
Have you noticed any big influxes of like any of the games lately? Have you noticed any any fan bases stand out as like traveling pretty well that we will then put to shame when we bring over the entire Panther fan base? But what teams stand out over there as kind of like the favorites?
The Jaguars would.
So the Jags, because they're here every year. So
right.
A lot of new fans over here will start supporting Jags because you get to see them every year. So it's a bit of a no-brainer. The Patriots because they're good.
Because they win. Yep.
Damn it. Green Bay, they're quite popular because they've got a lot of history.
Okay.
As well. So, but actually one of the teams that when I was at some of the London games last year that really impressed me in terms of travel was actually the Eagles.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay. Another.
So they actually played. They actually played the Jags. And the Jags obviously were the home team in inverted commas.
Right. Yeah.
But the Eagles, they took over. There was more. The Eagles fans were louder. There was more of them, even than the Jags in London.
Well, they travel well here too.
Yeah,
I mean,
they do. Yep. Anyway, Ollie, thanks for taking the time out, and thanks to Skype for making that possible for us to call over to London. Thanks
2019.
Thanks for taking the time out to call us. We're all excited to come over there. We'll see you in October, and I'm sure we'll talk to you between now and then. But you guys have fun the next few days.
If you're going to be in Houston, we're coming out for the Houston game as well.
Okay,
so,
there you go. I love that you guys are. That's devotion, man.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, I flew from Boston. It's like, well, here's Ollie coming from freaking London.
Yeah.
So we appreciate that, man, and we can't wait to give back to your Roaring Riot chapter over the other Royal Riot. So, Ollie, we'll see you soon, man. Huh? Maybe we'll hit up a casino, have a little more luck. Maybe I'll.
And he'll get to say bye.
Maybe
this time.
Maybe don't disappear this time.
Yeah, I won't say bye this. I can't guarantee that though. Anyway, thanks for joining us, Ollie.
Pleasure to speak to you.
We'll talk to you soon. Later,
Cheers.
man.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And that is Ollie.
I love it how they always end it. Cheers.
Yeah, they're very polite over
Yeah, I
there.
know,
Very,
man.
very polite people in London.
I need to take some lessons from Ollie.
Anyway, we're going to take a quick break. We just have a few more guests. We're almost done with our first day here. We're going to be back here tomorrow, Tripp. Again, we're here 1 to 3 tomorrow at the Tin Roof. We got some more guests coming in. A lot more to talk about tomorrow on day 2. This was fun. But we got the girl gang up, and I think we're going to talk to our buddy Steve here in a minute. We're kind of getting him mic'd up. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Again, we're at the Tin Roof on Demombre and getting ready for night 1 of the draft. You're listening to Tripp and Den here on the Riot Network.
Live from Nashville, it's Keep PounDENN.
What up? We're back here at the Tin Roof on Demonbreun. Hello, Tripp, at Panthers Source.
Oh, welcome back, Dan.
We have an unexpected guest stopping by, and we found a draft hat in the wild. This is our first draft hat in the wild.
Yep. This was free, so I know that this really wasn't popular among people on Twitter and all that stuff like that, but I was taught never to look a gift horse in the mouth, so I just took it and I'll wear it and I'll be happy with that.
It's funny. I think they were talking to Zach Luttrell on WFNZ
Yep.
about how it actually does look better in real life.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
It does.
It does.
It's not that bad. I think it's always because the thing with Twitter always is that everyone reacts to something initially and it's like, oh my God, this is awful. This is the worst thing in the world. And then things settle down. Everyone's like, oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
it's going to be worn by the first overall draft pick tonight, and then it's really never going to be worn
And it
again.
does say. I didn't even realize it says Keep PounDENN.
Yeah,
it says One Carolina.
One
sorry.
Carolina.
I thought it said Keep
That was a nice touch.
A little more simple than the 2 states, 1 team thing. Right?
Yeah. No, totally. You mentioned the number 1 pick wearing that hat tonight.
Yep.
A lot of talk about Montez Sweat dropping, edge, tackle, people throwing quarterbacks in there. Mm-hmm. We've been asking the question to everyone, and since we don't have a script for you, I'm just doing this off the top of my head here. Best case scenario, worst case scenario, and your realistic scenario of what happens tonight specifically.
I think the best case scenario is that you've got your edge guy of choice and your offensive tackle of choice there, and effectively then you can say, oh, this is a win-win. We can get either a guy like Farrell or Burns or Sweat there, or we can get like an Andre Dillard or a Jonah Williams. Jawan Taylor, I think, has been put into the mix as well, that sort of thing. But I think the worst-case scenario is going to be, and I think if the Cardinals end up spurning Kyler Murray and taking a guy like Quentin Williams or Bosa number 1 overall, that's really going to –
What does that do to the draft?
I think it throws everything into chaos because I think it essentially bumps up all of the linemen, and it causes the quarterbacks to fall because, okay, if Murray's the first off the board, then what happens to Haskins, what happens to Jones, what happens to Locke?
Yep.
Yeah.
So effectively, anything that the Panthers do is going to be influenced by what happens in front of them, which kind of comes with the territory, picking right smack dab in the middle. But I know I don't know if you guys have talked about this because obviously I'm just dropping in on my way back to my offices in Brentwood. But I think the Albert Breer report on Sports Illustrated the other day, where the Panthers were discussed as a candidate to move up for a tackle. I really don't see that scenario playing out, just specifically because of what Marty Herney has done in learning from his past mistakes. And I think everyone remembers the 08 draft. He trades up with, I think, Philadelphia to take Jeff Oda.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
didn't work.
Didn't work. And plus, you lose out on your first-round pick the next season, and that contributes to the roster reaching the point that it did in like that 2010-2011 period.
Right.
So, I mean,
and that's we've been talking about that all day. Of course, like the trade ups, the Bills, the Lions. There's all these teams kind of in that sweet spot that are trying to get out. Do you need to jump in front of a team like the Falcons or something?
Yep.
And that's kind of my take was, if you're going to trade up for that pick, you got to hit it, or you could really set your organization back a few years. I mean, not having a pick next year. Who knows what the Marty situation will be? Who knows what the Rivera situation will be?
And we might see it with this. This obviously the Saints have had a really good draft 2 years ago. They had 2 back-to-back really good seasons, but they don't have a first-round draft pick this year. I mean, So you could see that they traded up for what's his name last year? It's the defensive end. I can't remember his name right now, but
Marcus Davenport.
Yeah, Davenport. They traded up for Davenport and gave up his first-round pick this year
to Green Bay. Yeah.
So will he end up panning out? Who knows? But we'll see what happens with that this year too. But I agree. If you decide to trade up, I think it's a bad idea as well.
Yep.
But if you decide to trade up, you have to nail it.
I also think the risk-reward factor isn't really there because I know that we've talked about, all of us media types have talked about, how the Panthers need to address holes on their roster. But fundamentally, the roster itself really isn't bad right now. All you really need is some retooling.
Just a couple pieces.
A couple pieces, and you can get back to that the level that you had. I mean, heck, even in the first half of this past season. Whereas, if you were going to do something really aggressive, you're either going to be doing something like the Saints did and saying, okay, Breeze only has 1, 2, maybe 3 years left, so we gotta make sure we can win. We can win right now. With as long as Cam and Luke and all this group is together, there's really no reason why you can't win every year. So
and I don't think the Panthers are that window team either, where you're like, we have to make that move for next year or even 2 years from now. It's more of that, let's do this right, keep our picks, not throw everything into 1 year and go from there, right?
The really interesting thing is that now you're kind of entering this. This is the second phase, I would say, of the Noonan Rivera era, because Jonathan Stewart's gone, Ryan Khalil's gone, Thomas Davis is gone, Julius Peppers is gone. So all of those guys who were part of that team that eventually went to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, they're not here anymore. So that era is kind of over. Now what do you have? You have Christian McCaffrey. You have DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel, who you can think are something. You have Ian Thomas, who you think can eventually replace Greg Olsen. You've got Dante. You've got I'm really interested.
Bradbury.
I'm really interested to see what James Bradbury does this year, because I think if Fuel can work his magic on him and Jackson and kind of get him to that level that he was able to get Ramsey and Boye to in Jacksonville, I think they're going to be fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be
so.
It would be good.
Yeah, and
and figure out the nickel spot.
And when it comes to the draft, I mean, cornerback isn't really talked about, but it's certainly a position that isn't off the table. I mean, you got Dante Jackson.
Got to have a slot guy.
Would he ever move to the inside? I don't know. Would it work? I don't know. If you got someone, on the outside, I know Chris Harris is up for trade, but I don't think the Panthers can afford to do something like that. But if you can find that outside guy, who knows what you got in Cockrell?
Yep.
Korn, on his first kind of test, wasn't great.
Yeah,
he was out of
position, though.
Yeah,
exactly.
Fair. Wasn't fair.
So that position, the cornerback position, is that something that you need to look at in the draft, or do you think that that's just kind of off the table for them?
The great unknown with the defensive backfield is and continues to be a local boy here in Nashville, Rashawn Golden.
What is he, by the way?
Yeah, because you're like, okay, can he be answer at safety, or are we going to try and use him at nickel? Because he's got that versatility from when he was at UT. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, we're going to see what Rashawn Golden is capable of and the sort of player that he is. But,
how?
It's, do we want to essentially wait until that happens, or do we want to get some competition in there and, light a little fire under, not like a huge fire under Golden?
Yeah, well, that's a similar situation to what I brought up earlier, with the linebackers, with Jermaine Carter Jr. Like, you got him, but what if he doesn't work, And I think that's a big question I have of Golden. Like, what if he can't really play safety or play nickel well? Now you kind of get a guy that, what is he, you know?
I really feel like, still not being talked about enough. We mentioned the name here and there, but I really feel like Cockrell is going to play a big piece in all of this at some point.
He's great in Madden.
He is. I've been playing with
him
him
game.
Too. Yes.
Yeah.
But and I actually put him in that slot spot, by the way. I leave Dante on the outside. Just saying. Just tips for you guys.
Sounds like a Twitter GM to me. I don't know.
Hashtag. No, but I really feel like he's going to play a big part in that. If he's going to, I'm sure they're going to try him both in the slot. He was supposed to compete for the number 2 spot. Jackson stepped up and did that. And, you talked about, we hit it on your show, and y'all been talking about Golden. It completely threw me for a loop when Rivera brought up him playing the nickel spot potentially and the safety and his versatility. And I was like, whoa, where's this coming from? But we also felt like they can't go into the season still with Searcy and Golden as your free safety, right? You can't do that.
To me, I in my mock draft, I had them taking Savage in the second round, and maybe you can let Searcy go. Find some money somewhere. I don't know. A lot of guys are on the team right now that are just there. Like, they need at least a competition or a starter.
Yeah, Searcy's, in fairness to him, because he got hurt, but he's one of those other guys where it's like, okay, I've got no idea what.
Yeah.
I think, and this is just me really going way too deep into things, because you're talking about Jermaine Carter. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen at special teams linebacker, because no one's really talking about the turnover you've got there.
David Mayo.
David Mayo's gone. Ben Jacobs is on the coaching staff now, so it's going to be like, okay, is Andre Smith going to become a bigger part of the special teams group? What about Jared Norris? Is he going to step into like that Jacobs role? So.
Yeah. And that's why, this all stemmed from earlier in the show. We were talking about how I threw it out there, mostly serious, about how I thought the Panthers should look at someone like Jamie Collins, just as like just in case. Yeah. Granted, that's an expensive just in case.
Right.
What if Jermaine Carter's, not your starting linebacker? What if you do need him for he does serve a space, but because as he goes, the rest of the depth chart gets a lot worse. So
I've seen your arguments for Collins, and I actually kind of agree with them because I think.
And he keeps falling in price. I think.
Yes, every day.
Because it would be a very on-brand signing for Hurney because he made his money in Cleveland, and he was good, but the Browns needed him to be great for what they were paying him. So okay,
slightly overpaid and maybe overrated, but still I think he fits this team.
Yeah, so he would be essentially another guy that Hurney would go, okay, I'm going to add this quality player for like a pittance or maybe like a quarter of what he was paid with the Browns. So that would be an interesting thing to see, especially as we enter like this next phase of the free agency period after the draft, where people start to take more of a look at, okay, who's left on the market.
What do we need?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Exactly.
Steve Taranto, right? Is that how?
Toronto.
I like the city.
Like the city.
Yes.
But there's an A there.
Yeah. It's,
okay. Sorry, I'm just making sure I
it's
can
from
read right.
There are a couple of Italian cities named Toronto, so
there you
go. That's where that comes from.
Steve Toronto writes for 24/7 Sports, rather, for the Panthers side of that. But hey, one thing that you brought up to me was the hot chicken. So I've never had Nashville. Yes. You're from Nashville.
I
live here.
Nice.
Born and raised, or you just live here now? Okay.
Born and raised in Eastchester, New York.
Okay.
Moved here about 2 years ago.
Okay.
For work.
So you live here now. I've been here about 10 times in my life. Mm-hmm. I've never had the hot chicken. I'm more of like a pulled pork kind of guy. Mm. Everyone says Hattie B's. Everyone says Prince's. You said Prince's.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, I'm personally partial to Prince's because it's the original here, and it's also got some good lore that I'm not. I don't know if I can necessarily talk about on a stream like this, but but yeah. So the backstory at Prince's is interesting, and it's the authentic Nashville hot chicken. Yep. Hattie B's is good as well, but I mean, generally you can't really go wrong here with hot chicken. But what I will say is this. People ask about hot chicken, and I say to them, well, it's an interesting dish in the sense that you can never quite get it at a consistent heat level. Like, even if you would go and order the classic Nashville hot.
Yep.
Depending on how it's seasoned, it can vary between, oh, this isn't so bad, this is all right, to, oh, my God, I'm going to die. And I've had that experience before at Party Fell.
Just
I
down heard that was a good one,
actually.
too. So I'm a big fan of Szechuan food, and you get that a lot with that. You can order the same thing 10 times, and you'll get it at 10 varied spices. So I got to try this hot chicken. But
it's worth your time.
I worry about mixing it with beer, but I definitely it's something you got to experience.
Beer's a good complement of it, but just be careful if you order water with it. If it's really, really hot and you go for like 10 glasses of water, so you can get pretty sick.
You got to do the milk.
Milk is
the way to go.
Milk is definitely the killer.
Anyway, Steve, thanks for stopping by, man. It's nice to meet you, man. I
awesome.
Saw him out there. I was like, I know him. We're gonna get him on the stage here.
I was
had to move some times around.
Glad to be on. Thank you for having me on. I'm going to try and do a show of my own later, but again, it's better for me to have you guys to play off of a little.
You gotta talk to somebody. You know, you never want to go do that alone. So that's why I give props to you, man. I would never do that stuff alone. I don't know how you do it.
I don't either.
Hey, again,
I black out.
Here at the Tin Roof on Demombrian, they are they get really good. Dude, so many things have happened in the last few hours. Outside, like there's a full mixing board. There's the vodka truck.
It's Tim McGraw, man.
The girl gang is going to be joining us in just a minute. They all have shots right now, so this is the perfect time to bring them on.
Stand up and cheer for the Panthers.
All right, you can hear it. Keep pounding here. Steve, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll see you this weekend. I love the hats, and we're going to take a quick break. We're going to get the girl gang on here, and we'll wrap it up here.
It's going to get wild.
From day one in Nashville. You're listening to Tripp and Den on the Riot Network.
All right. We good?
Live from Nashville, it's Keep Pound Den.
Well.
Well,
We're finally
Hey,
here,
hey.
Joan. Here with the famous girl gang. Thanks for joining us. We had to move some very important guests around for you guys.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anna and Joan here from the girl gang. We talked to T-Bone earlier. He was saying hello to you. I know you couldn't hear him, but I must ask, what was the shot you just had? Is there a name to that? Was
Yes.
that a kamikaze?
It is the Panthers punch.
Okay.
Panthers punch.
Okay.
Okay.
So blue
Can't like
curacao,
Some
Sprite,
Sprite.
and a little vodka.
Is that your creation or is that
No,
is that a Music
that's
City?
the Music City
Yeah.
Riots.
Okay.
Um,
Very cool.
Yes.
He
Ve-
said it's either a shot or a drink, but it goes down better as a shot. So
There
we
you
said
go.
we're doing shots.
Nice.
There you go. Come get it at the
This is
tin.
sweet.
It could have been a little. It could have had maybe a splash of like triple sec or some
Okay.
some sour mix or something. It was
Bartender
needs
Joan
something.
over
We
here.
give it
Yeah.
an 8 out of 10. It
Yeah.
could have had a little
Oh.
less.
Okay.
A little less
fizziness to
Sprite.
it.
The
Yeah.
Blues
Yeah, I
gotta
would
count
probably
for like
s-
half, right?
yeah.
Half
What's
a
that?
point. I said the Blues got to count for like half a point, right? It's Panther Blues. So
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
gotta
But the
count.
fizzy doesn't go down that well as a shot.
That's true.
So how was the drive?
You know what? We made great time.
There you go.
We got on the
How
road
long
at
is that? What,
6:02.
6 hours? 4 hours?
It was almost just like a little over 6 hours.
Yep.
Oh,
very
that's
nice.
not bad.
Very nice.
We had
Yep.
one stop, and that was it.
Nice.
First
Yep.
time in Nashville?
First time in Nashville.
Nope, not me. But I was little, so Nashville's
first-
not as
first
fun.
time in
First real
Nashville.
experience.
It's not
in
as fun
Yes.
when you're not 21.
There you go.
And I'm not a country music fan, so part of this is like hell for me.
Oh, we were
you know what?
singing
A
along.
lot of people have that like mentality. I won't like Nashville because I don't like country music.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to like country music.
I was the same way. I'm not a big country music
Kings of-
fan. I
Kings-
came here for a bachelor
Kings of
party,
Leon is
How dare
and I
y'all?
fell in love
How
with this
dare
place.
y'all?
Well, I mean, I
I'm
don't have
insulted
any.
right now.
I don't have any.
I like country music. I'm just saying
Do you?
you don't have to
I don't-
like country music to like Nashville.
No, I wasn't
Oh,
saying
okay.
that
Yeah.
We were having
that
a
they were
debate.
synonymous, but there's a lot of country music around.
Yes,
Yeah,
you're gonna hear it.
constantly.
And
So-
yeah, and
so
I've
what-
been shamed that I don't want to go see Tim McGraw tomorrow. Even
Ooh,
Who shamed you? No one shamed
and
you.
Dirk Bentley.
that wouldn't shamed me.
And
well,
Dirk
she
Bentley
can-
too.
Okay, but we'll
So-
be gone by
So
then.
Dirk's
Unfortunately.
I got some work to do tonight, so I can't play my favorite drinking game, which is the wagon wheel drinking game. If you hear every time you hear wagon wheel on the strip,
Or
you have to
Rocky
do
Top.
a shot
Okay,
of fire.
I don't
Or
even
Ro-
know
or
what
Rocky
song that
Top,
is.
or
What?
Rocky Top. Okay, no,
Oh,
but,
you
but
will-
we were
you will
having a
soon know what
discussion.
that is.
We were having a discussion, so we got to pose the question to y'all.
Yes,
Is Old Town Road country?
I haven't heard it, but I know that there's like.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I know what
Pause
it
the
is.
break.
Then you're out.
This is almost as bad as like wagon.
I
wheel.
know
yeah,
what it
yeah.
is.
Oh, okay.
We're,
Okay.
We're struggling.
And it's Billy Ray,
But
right? Billy
we're,
Ray?
we're off the rails on
I
this
know what
podcast.
that song is.
Oh, anyway, we brought you on here today. We know that you have a team together for the Keep Pounding 5K.
do.
You did it last year.
We did. This
And-
is my third or fourth year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And where exactly is that?
So it starts at Levine Children's Hospital, right across
Okay.
from Carolina's Medical Center in Charlotte, and we go down Moorhead Street, and then
Yes.
into the stadium. We go up the ramps.
Yeah, you go up
Oh, you actually
to
run-
the 300 level
Okay.
Yep.
and then back down.
and then back down,
Ooh.
Yeah.
and then out
It's
to
a
the
hike.
practice fields.
Nice.
It's.
Yep.
That sounds like
Okay.
a.
I started to say it's a 5K.
It's 3.1 miles to be exact. But who's counting?
I
True.
would be.
yeah.
Yeah, I've never done a 5K
Really?
I
don't.
should, though.
Well, it's
because
It's-
this
it's-
is different than because doesn't Greg have his own? Greg Olson has
Yes.
the,
it's
the
in
hardest
two.
yard.
Hardest yard.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
next week.
Yep.
And I talked to you guys about why I love Greg Olson, and
Yep.
this
Yeah,
is still the
absolutely.
Levine Children's Hospital. So so cool that you guys do that. Get the group together. We talked to T-Bone.
I heard you
He's
made a
on the
donation.
team.
We did, yes. I was like, they
Thank you
can't-
very
I was like,
much.
they
Yes.
can't hear me, yes, but from
Thank
the. We
you.
actually haven't made it yet because I'm up here, but I'm going to once I get
Okay.
back.
Okay.
We
It's gonna happen.
we
You
appreciate
have,
it
you
very
pledged
much.
yes,
some money.
we together with Roaring Riot, Zach and all them, we pulled it together. So we do have a $300 donation going up right
I
when we
really
get off this
appreciate it.
Sunday.
Thank you so
That's
much.
So that's
awesome.
from all of us to you. But is T-Bone still on your team
He is.
after what happened last night?
Oh, absolutely.
We'll take
Absolutely.
them. We'll claim them.
He sent me a message. Was it yesterday or it was right before he was going to go to do that last night, and
Top off.
yeah,
And he told me that he had goggles and gloves, and
It was a Duke glove.
He was
if
prepared.
I told him he should have walked in like full hazmat gear.
I mean,
you know?
he
It was like a golf glove
But he
with
did-
the Duke logo on it, and I sent him a DM, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? What is that?"
he did 2 of them. That was my
Yeah.
biggest
It's like
concern.
he-
It was almost like he liked
he
it and
liked
went back
it.
for more. So, all right.
He's a good sport.
Good to know he's on the
and,
team.
And did you watch Little People Big World this
No.
morning?
I
Okay,
just,
okay.
I just saw it on the screen.
Well, I just got to clear the air.
So me and
because-
T-Bone both like Double Shot at Love with Pauly
Yes.
D and
And
Maybe
I-
that's why
and
he
I-
did 2 of them.
maybe it was.
He's-
for the
You
show.
both
He
like
said-
what?
Double Shot at Love.
He said Den was his TV
Not into
spirit
that?
animal.
I don't know what that is.
So
And
so
I was like, no, we are not condoning this behavior.
I don't know, but Double Shot at Love is Vinny and Pauly D from the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Where they take, I think it's like 16 girls, and 8 of them think they're there to date Pauly, and the other 8 think they're there to
sounds
date
awful.
Vinny, but they're really there to date both of them. And you take that
It's
group.
terrible.
It's The Bachelor,
It's terrible
but
TV.
Bachelorette, but way better.
It's
way better.
It's definitely like the real, what the Bachelorette, how I picture it would
is.
be.
Yeah,
Like,
And
it
the real world.
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
like it's take the tropical islands and all that stuff out of the Bachelorette and put like real New Jersey girls in there, and that's what you get. So
That's so funny.
anyway, yes, we did. Look at this, 4 hours until the draft. Tripp, we did pretty good on time today.
We have
I'm
nailed
not
it.
gonna lie.
We were kind of worried about that, honestly.
Yeah.
But we have nailed it. We've
Y'all
nailed
have been
it.
killing
Yeah,
it.
thanks
Nailed
to
it.
and
the
last
tin
week
roof
was
here.
really good too.
Oh,
And
thank you.
Road.
This
Big
is
thanks
a
to
nice
Road.
place. I like this
This
bar.
is a fun. So I was actually telling Harrison, who's somewhere.
Yeah,
Harrison runs
he's
the
over there.
the Music City Riot. They do a great job here. Make sure you get your swag if you have not
Oh,
gotten
nice.
it up
Did.
there.
Thank you.
He was telling us about what goes on here, and I was telling him that the first time I ever came to Nashville, this was literally the first place I went to.
Oh.
Completely non-Panthers related.
So just coincidental.
Yep, we were meeting a guy who actually lives in this apartment building right here,
Oh, okay.
and we met him in here. And 10 years later,
How funny.
we're
That's so
here on the
cool.
stage. So, yeah, we're here tomorrow too. We got people all around us. We got the Draft Network over there. Will Brinson's right next
Yeah,
door.
we heard.
I don't know what's going on over there. Even though he ignored me.
Construction.
Yeah. We'll go see Will in a minute. But anyway,
We can blame it on his concussion or whatever happened to his
On the bird, on the
scooter
bird.
injury.
Yeah,
Didn't
yeah,
you have a scooter injury, or you had a funny scooter story from Philly?
oh no, well I wasn't riding one.
Okay.
Oh no, I was riding one. So Chris got a Lime, which is the same
Yeah.
thing as
It's
bird.
a little bit faster, though.
Way faster.
As
thank
the
you.
self-proclaimed #1 fan of the Keep Poundin'
Yeah.
podcast, I remember
Yes.
this is episode 143.
very-
I'm just kidding. I have no
Catalog.
idea what episode it was.
Minute 16.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I was riding this thing, and I felt like I was going 100 miles an hour. And it was right after the Falcons' Week 2 with the Panthers loss.
Right.
And Fortnite? I don't know, Jill,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I might be asking the wrong person.
know.
But you know how there's the dances? Well, there's one where you put like an L in your head and you do this thing, and I'm not going to do it because people are
I
watching.
think you should.
But
Do it.
No,
I think you
but this little kid did it to me, and I was going like 100 miles in on the scooter, and I was like, I like wanted to do something, and it was just really bad. So I understand.
took a tumble.
I understand how Will Brinson could fall. So
And
Definitely
got
to hit up the
stitches
bird
and-
and scooters.
yeah, we're
bird
gonna go check
moms.
them out. CBS is actually next door at the Doghouse Saloon.
Nice.
Oh,
And
okay.
get the Draft Network right down the street at STK. There's some
That's so cool.
breweries. If anyone's feeling up to it, you can do the Wagon Wheel Shot Game. Report back to me after 5 minutes.
I might not make it
So
if I do
I
the
still don't know
wagon
what
wheel.
wagon wheel
So
is.
Okay,
Wagon Wheel
so-
is a very
Song?
famous
Yes.
song. in
And
Nashville.
it's not actually even, it's borderlines like Southern rock and country.
Yeah,
I'm not
I
Old, Old Crow Medicine
I'm not
Show
going to sing
is
it,
the
but,
real,
but
the
ba-
real
spoiler
version.
alert, you're going to hear it within the next hour.
Hey, Mama, rock me. That's all you got to know.
Yeah, you
I'm not
probably
gonna
know
sing
the
it
words.
either.
Yeah. So, anyway, like I said, the Keep Pounding 5K. Awesome that you guys do that each
Thank
year.
you.
We're happy to put that in. That comes from the Roaring Riot. They're all down at Bank of America.
I was just texting with Zach.
Are you
just minutes
missing
ago.
the festivities there? I think this is a little better.
This
I
is a little
think so,
better.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a little better.
Well, as long as the rain hangs.
As
holds
long
off.
as I get
thought-
to run my 40, then Nashville will be better.
Ooh,
than
we had
going to that,
Sheena
so
on
I'm
earlier.
just
I don't know
gonna-
if you guys were here, but we played a fun little.
She told us that
yeah,
she
game
didn't
with
do
Sheena.
so hot.
She got cam right.
She
though,
did
so
get
Okay.
Cam
goodness,
right,
goodness.
but we were talking about 40 times, and she said that she used to run under 5.
That's all I
So-
want to do. If I run a sub-5, then I will consider this trip a
'Cause,
success.
Like I told her, you're already doing better than Den and
I
I.
know.
Yeah,
I
Josh-
was like, I got to stretch beforehand,
Now
get my electrolytes.
You would
like,
not.
let's go,
You would
let's
not
go.
beat Den and I's created Madden players, but I mean they're like.
But this is
4
real
4s.
life.
Yeah.
Strip.
Well,
This
we
is
don't live
my
in real life. You
life.
got to live in virtual too.
So yeah, everybody's talking about what Endgame, comes
Avengers,
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Taylor Swift though
Den's
tomorrow.
favorite movie.
Taylor Swift.
This is true. She did a concert on the streets of Nashville, and
So
we all
what?
missed it.
So what do you think this is? New music?
New music. It's got to be.
New boyfriend?
no,
I think
New
she's
boyfriend
still
to
with
write
the,
new music?
No, I think she still got the.
Like I
other
feel
one.
like I
actually-
feel like Taylor Swift would do like the LeBron James like ceremony to announce that she has a new boyfriend.
yeah.
I
Put out the video.
I like Taylor Swift. There's a few things that like
Right.
annoy me about her.
Yeah, watch what you say.
But
I'm
for the
sure
most
Chris
part,
is gonna
yeah,
be like
for the most part,
down
I
your
like.
throat
For
in
the
a
most
minute.
part, I like her, and I think that she puts a lot of work into her craft. But
I like her new aesthetic though. The pink and the sequins.
Okay,
It's working.
okay.
I like it.
okay,
She's definitely put out a name for herself.
Yeah.
Coming from country all the way to pop now.
Well, they said it's gonna be the new album is supposed to be a fusion of the country and the pop, so it's gonna be more
Oh,
of like that
damn.
crossover that
Okay.
like all these
You
other
thought she was big.
all these other artists have been doing.
Crazy.
So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
we will,
She's
and
very
we'll have
talented.
that
She
to
is
talk
very
about too. Well, who knows what time it'll be announced? Because
Maybe she'll stop by.
the whole time, yeah, maybe she'll be
Taylor,
by
if you're
tomorrow.
listening,
Keep
see us.
PounDENN podcast.
Come see your boy
Would
Den.
love to have
Yeah.
you. Holler at your boy Den.
Yes,
And Tripp.
all those things at Keep Pound Den.
holla at your boy.
But hey, thanks for
Chris would
Hashtag
be
NFL
Chris
draft.
would be really mad.
Chris is gonna yell at me in a minute, but anyway, guys, I know you have very important things to do later. I think you're gonna be WFNZ guys are
Yeah.
having some stuff.
We
so
were on
we'll
this
talk
morning
about that.
too.
We
I
called
heard
it.
that you called in. Yeah, Or
Yep.
someone called in. You?
Joan called.
I
in.
called, yeah, but we were both on.
I had my 5 seconds of fame on the radio.
There you
this
go.
morning.
There you
I'm
go.
not okay.
That's all I said. Because he said, "How are you after the Hurricanes game last night?" And I said, "I'm not okay."
Oh, that-
And then it cut.
Yeah,
We
I
were
mean,
like-
they cut you off. I mean, you get like 30
Oh, yeah, I
seconds
know.
and
We were
they
like,
cut
if-
you
if
off whether you're
people-
finished talking or
Yeah.
not.
I haven't gotten to that level of like savagery with calls. Like
Yeah.
people keep talking, and I'm like, I can't do it. But in the radio, you gotta.
Yeah,
you
Or
gotta-
The show
Oh, yeah.
will never end. You know?
If,
Yeah.
if people actually know me, they're probably like, "Well, is she okay? Like,
Definitely-
what happened?"
Definitely
Is she
emotionally
gone?
hungover after that game last night. That was
That was
That was
intense.
crazy.
I was so tired.
sweating.
I fell asleep. I couldn't do it. I had to wake up
I
at
was
4
so,
today.
yeah, I was
Okay.
so tired, and I'm just like, just let them win already. Come on, I've got a long
got a
day
draft to go.
drive.
Well,
I've got 350
I
miles
told
to drive in the
Joan-
morning.
Yeah, I told Joan, I was like, I have to go to bed at 11. And she was like, you have to stay up. And I was like, the only thing in life that rules my life more than sports is sleep.
There you go.
I'm like, you do not
ahead.
disrupt my 9 hours of sleep. I'm a baby, and I have to get those 9 hours in, or you do not want to deal with me.
Don't worry,
I'll
I'm
be
sure they'll have
cranky,
another
so.
long game right before the 5K you have to run.
Oh,
This
absolutely.
is true.
Yeah.
This is
At
true.
least this year,
for the
kicking
cup.
it with Cam is not the day before.
Yeah.
So if you've ever
Right.
done. Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
Yes.
But anyway, we
We're
have to
doing
wrap it up
Morse
here
codes.
anyway. But yeah, they are getting ready to set up here at the Tin Roof. That's going to do it for us today. We'll be back here tomorrow, 1 p.m. And
Thank you all
Tripp,
for
this
having
was fun.
us.
Thank you
is a
guys.
blast.
And
Yes.
we'll see you tomorrow. And good luck to the Panthers tonight.
Yeah,
in
thank
night
you.
one.
Keep pounding.
Good job, guys.
Later, guys.
Seeing y'all.
Bye.